I'm obese, shoot me in the belly.
Look at all the space I'm creating, everybody!
Bad monkey, bad monkey. Oh, you got you baited so hard. I don't think I can handle any more of this bot gameplay.
Spylo.
I made a mistake today. You see, I did something really silly. You know, you think that you're a coach and you think that you're like immune, like you understand everything and like your mental's on edge and you've got everything down and you know exactly like, not just like how to play better, but performance and everything. I made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I played Genji, a hero that I used to be good at a long time ago. And I got depressed. And it's not even that the hero was bad. Obviously, he's a pretty bad DPS here. The buffs were nice. I'm just a bad Genji now. Like, I have brief moments of where I'm like, man, I am just fluid. Like, I am speed. I know I can, like, I have this hyper awareness, like flow state, right? Like, unironically, I will have flashes. And I'll show you, you'll see my highlights and you're like, what? This guy's nuts. And I just got depressed. I played so badly and I got so tilted. It was like ruined my day. It's so depressing, dude. I think that's the worst part about it is it's not as depressing being bad at something, but knowing that at one point in time, I used to be pretty good at this. You know, not just Overwatch, just anything. It kills me, man. It kills me. Every single here's my problem, chat. I have so many other things that I want to do that, and like I focus on Overwatch coaching, right? But that means that I'm exposed to Overwatch on a daily basis. And so I'm like, oh, I'll play. I enjoy the game. But then I get in the game, like I'm just no good. Like I still play an okay flex support, but even that can be frustrating because I used to be GM with that hero. So, it's sad. Thank you, Solo Lane. Thank you for very much for the sub. I think Padawi subbed earlier. I'm pretty sure. Would Padawi sub? Where's Padawi sub? Somebody subbed. I'm not seeing it in Twitch chat, but I appreciate the subs, guys. But yeah. Anyway, good to see everybody. I really put in all effort. Yeah, you did? Well, thank you for the sub. I don't even know how many months. I appreciate it, though. But we really put in the extra effort today, and today it's going to be a little bit fun. Now, we have... one support VOD, but it'll be Mercy Moira, so it'll be a little bit of a change of pace. And then we've got a really fun VOD afterwards, which is going to be a Sombra Tracer Numbani scrimmage. But before we even do that, hey, Fogglebone Witch, Dark Moon, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. But before we do that, number one, there is a ton of YouTube videos that are coming out soon. A ton. Let me get my notebook. We have a ton. What? Hang on. I forgot my pen. Where's my pen? Oh. Because I've fallen behind in video editing. Because I was gassed last week, dude. I was just so tired. So I fell behind in video editing. Let me read you out how many videos we have to release. Oh, Calix.
Hello, sir. It has been a pleasure and I'll bully you into another review in 3 weeks' time.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Had a good time with you. All right, so the ELO Hell, the March 11th OWL analysis, which I think was which was some of like the Boston, London, the wrap up of the Boston London analysis, Platt Mercy, Masters McCree, GM Reinhardt, the Spylo mystery coach bait, where I got baited and ended up coaching somebody, Jake's Decay review analysis, Hammer Time, the Dynasty versus Justice, Open Scrim, and then the Ask Spylo. And then I have to review our footage from day before yesterday as well. So we got a lot of YouTube stuff coming out soon, and Baggins has outdone himself. There are some really great thumbnails coming out with these as well. And I'm doing my best with the YouTube stuff, so I started really disciplined and then I got sloppy. I started like having like 30, 35, 34 minute, 29 minute long YouTube videos, but they're back to under 25 minutes, like 22 minutes, 18 minutes, 21 minutes. Like if you ever miss a stream, or you're subbed to YouTube, whenever I release stuff on YouTube, I'm trying to keep it under 25 minutes. I can't chop it up shorter than that, but I'm trying to keep them under 25 minutes so you guys will be able to you'll be able to actually like catch the get the TLDR without having to go through and watch the full hour. Yeah, so we got a lot of that stuff. I also have a very, very, very exciting announcement for this Saturday. Now, I don't know how many of you guys followed last year's Overwatch League season, but somebody involved in Overwatch League last season, I won't say player, staff member, I won't say who, somebody who is very well known and very well lauded last Overwatch League season is going to be joining me on stream this Saturday. This Saturday at 2 p.m. I'm going to have somebody almost everybody has heard of and admires on stream. So I'm not going to say who, but it should be announced later in the week once we finalize the details. But you'll have to wait and see. So we'll have a good time. We'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, so today we're gonna start off with some hammer time. Let's get a poll set up because we got a lot of hammer times. Now, I got some feedback from one of my good friends, Lockie, and he was basically saying he would love to start a stream off with hammer time just as like a change of pace. And I figured, hey, what the heck? We only have 2 VODs today, so let's start off with some hammer time. So let's see what we got here. We have is Baggins even in chat? Baggins isn't here. Hang on a second. Yeah, so I'm gonna message Baggins. Give me 1 second. Want your thing tomorrow? Okay. Your Overwatch, the return of main tank. So let's write that down. Your Overwatch main tanks. Reddit understanding the role of tanks. RJ, this is why you miss shots. Game Leap, everyone plays hero wrong. Okay, so let's get this set up. Give me 1 second, and then you guys get to pick what we go over. Okay, main tanks, Reddit, role of tank. RJ, why you miss shots. And then Game Leap, playing these heroes wrong. Hey, Aiden! Thanks for the sub, mate. Also, so the poll's in. So top your chat window. There you go. The partnership application is whisked away. We have the official partnership application whisked away. Now, my concern is that when I whisked it away, sent it away. Where's the partnership thing? So when I sent out my partnership application, I realized that I had 74.95 average viewers over the last 28 days. And I was like, well, I hope I hope that's good enough. But yeah. Oh, hey, check it out. Hey. We did it. I just realized this. It says Path to Partner. We should get it. We should. I'm hoping. Cross your fingers, boys. I just got but I'm not actually a partner yet, but it should be soon. Let's go. So pause champ indeed. Yeah. So we wait. It was like 74.95 last I checked. So it was like right on the cusp. So we'll see how the day goes. Okay. Hey, thanks for the bits. Froggle Bun Twitch. Yeah, so let me see how it goes. Okay, RJ, why you miss shots, Reddit role of tank. Okay, let's look at the RJ video. I think this will be interesting because I haven't seen or heard of RJ in a long time. Because RJ was like this insane Hanzo, like nuts, crazy, cracked, whatever, hit so many shots. You guys have seen, everyone's seen the Gibraltar clip, right? If you haven't seen the Gibraltar clip, we have to see it. RJ, Hanzo, Gibraltar. Like, is this it? Yeah, this is like, you can't, this is one of the greatest clips in Overwatch history, unironically. Get ready for this.
Genji one. Dead. That's why you always start focusing Genji down when he has ultimate. Oh my god, I feel like I'm getting fourth wind right now. I don't wanna end. Holy shit. Fourth wind blows. Holy shit, we're fresh nothing. We're fresh nothing. We're fresh nothing. Huh? Huh? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Who the fuck is left? Huh? Who the fuck is left?
I mean, like, I don't, like, you just can't top that. What was that? What is that? So anyway, that's RJ. I haven't heard of him much. I assume he's still streaming. He seems to have dropped SR a lot. I don't know how good he is anymore, but at the time he was just like unbelievable. So this AIM secret nobody ever told you about. Well, let's look at him. I'm curious to hear what we said. So again, for those of you guys who don't know, Hammer Time is basically where I get educational content submitted to me. I look over it, tell you whether it's terrible, decent, or really good. So in other words, scuffed, tolerable, and beefed, and we'll grade it at the end. So all right, let's go.
No one.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Like, I just don't, it's so weird to me that he's Masters, because you just don't see Hanzo players do that. Even though it's a highlight reel, like, I've never seen a pro Hanzo do this before. So I don't know if he just has, like, bot brain, and, like, throws some games, but, like, honestly, some of his highlight reels are, like, you won't see Overwatch League players doing that. So I just find it, maybe it's like the all aim, no brain, and just click sometimes. It's just, it's odd to me.
When choosing your
People
target,
win trade?
you should
Could be true.
always pick a target who has at least one of these vulnerabilities that will increase your chances of hitting them. So the easiest target to hit is the one who is too close to you to dodge any shots, and the easiest one to predict is the one who is mid-jump or using a movement ability like Reinhardt Charge. And then there is the target who just feels safe, or the more minor version when the target is unaware of your intentions specifically. Now, when I say trying to shoot at an unaware target, most of you will think about something like this. Come on, got one. Anna? Anna? Holy I'm trash! But the fact is that the Anna was aware of me. The same way that I'm aware of the Widow after her first shot. I just keep changing my movement direction right before she shoots. It's the panic-free version of running for your life. And now, I finally shoot back at her when she's no longer aware of me. Okay, let's look at a couple big plays and then break down the vulnerabilities of every target. Now the analysis.
Fresh nuts!
Hanzo very close, stuck mid jump, and stuck mid movement skill. Zarya close, unaware, and feels safe.
You notice that he's doing this from an angle, like he's contested the Hanzo in the angle, because if he doesn't contest the Hanzo in the angle, the Hanzo will kill his team. So instead he duels the Hanzo, he has a pocket, he wins the duel, and then he proceeds to abuse the angle that he won. And that's the result here.
Close and stuck mid jump. And the Mercy is stuck mid jump. And finally, Anna is close, unaware, and feels safe. Okay, let's look at this clip that has some harder shots. Just to show you that all the targets still have at least one weakness when I take the shot. And don't worry, we're gonna watch this clip a second time and analyze it.
Wall behind us. Wall behind.
And now for the analysis. Here the Anna is unaware, feels safe, and stuck mid-jump.
And you're on the angle. You notice how the directional movement is this direction. The reason why unaware is big is because it makes their movement very predictable, which whether you're playing hit scan or projectile makes it easier to aim your shots.
The Mercy is unaware and feels safe behind.
Like, I always pride myself on not spamming jump on a lot of the heroes I main, but a lot of times I will just jump when I'm just like chilling, right? And that's where you catch that. So if people that know to not jump mid-duel, they'll just be jumping, just screwing around, and that's when you catch them off.
Payload cover. Here the Echo is simply just aware I'm going to shoot at her. And now the Echo is close, surprised, confused, and mind blown.
Wall behind us.
And finally, the Ana is unaware and stuck mid-jump.
Wall behind.
Next up, let's look at a clip that shows a couple common pitfalls that can make you miss your shots.
Okay, so I guess that was interesting. It was more about like just a reminder to like, but it doesn't really say how. Like he's saying prioritize people who aren't aware, but it's like how do you get to that position? How do you get to that point? It is not super helpful. I guess what he's like, how do you pull something away from that? Like what do you pull away from that? Like how do you learn from that? How do you go, okay, good, I'm gonna go practice that. Like I don't know how you do that.
The first kill is really good.
He's right, but I don't know what you
shoots
get
the
out of
Mercy
that.
before she has time to react. But then he misses everything on me since I was aware of him and expecting him to shoot at me. Genji is stuck jumping, so he's an easy pick. Once again, he tries to shoot at me, even though it's clear that I'm aware of him. Now that he has a new angle, he manages to catch me by surprise, but unfortunately misses his shot. And at this point, he's stuck too far away to be able to land consistent shots. So even though he catches the Echo off guard, the chance of him hitting it as a headshot was very low. And now he's just stuck shooting at shields. Let's fast forward a bit.
So this is a positional problem,
Here
right?
he goes for a sneaky flank, but he shoots at the Sigma first, giving away his position. So once again I know he will shoot at me, so I make it very hard for him to hit any shots. Once again he lands another...
So maybe the thing to take away right there is something that we should snapshot, right? Which was basically when you're on an angle, when you have a really aggressive angle or flank, try and prioritize the more deadly or squishy enemies first. Because if you get a really greedy angle and you start shooting Reinhardt, I mean, that's value, I guess, but you're more likely to be punished instantly. It's the same reason why when you Genji Blade, you don't Genji Blade, even when you're Nano Bladed, you don't try and Genji Blade Reinhardt because, yeah, you'll kill him, but it takes too long. And while you're doing that, everybody else in the backline, all the dangerous glass cannon heroes, Ana, Zen, Zarya, Hanzo, McCree, they're all focusing you down. So when you're on a really aggressive position, target the people who are squishier, because those are the people that are more likely to punish you for being on that position. I think that's so important. Like what he said about the Sigma there is absolutely right.
shot when it's on a target who doesn't know he's getting shot by him. And what do we have here? Another kill on an unaware target. This clip showed 3 common pitfalls that people fall into. Most of the time he was either shooting at someone
I'm sorry. What is this? Is that an animal?
who was aware of him, shooting without actually having a target, or shooting from so far away or from such a weird angle that the chances of him getting a kill was extremely low. But let's look at one more big play clip in a bit more detailed way. So here's the classic 14 kills in a row clip. I'm going to show you that even in a clip like
I didn't
this,
know he was on
all
this
the
here.
shots were on vulnerable targets.
What's the difference between your advice to the Tracer player where it's best to shoot the easiest to hit target? It's the same. Well, because as Tracer, you don't... Here's the thing with Tracer. If you catch the enemy off guard with your positioning, then yes, go one clip of squishy. If you do not catch the enemy off guard, then don't worry about who you're shooting. Focus instead on being on the best position and shoot who's available. For example,
The Sigma
he's on this angle here.
first, giving
Who's
away
the
his
best target available on this flank? Right? If you're on a flank where this guy's a little far away, this person's behind cover, and you can only see this person, then shoot this person. RJ's point here and my point here is that he had the opportunity to shoot anyone that he wanted to, and instead he went for the tank. Right? Think of it as you're a tracer. You're a tracer on backline. Right? Here's their front line, here's their back line, here's a Widow over here. If you're here as tracer, you're gonna shoot Widow, or you're gonna shoot Zen, or you're gonna shoot Mercy. Why would you shoot these guys? They're not any easier to shoot, and they're harder to get kills on. My point being is that sometimes as tracer, you might be like here, okay? Your team is pushing in this way, and you're positioned here. You don't have time to get all the way to the enemy backline over here. So instead of going, you know, the fight's going, 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 okay, we're on the backline, fight's over. If you have a good angle right here with, like, let's say some cover right here, feel free to just pump damage into the Reinhardt's back, or into the Zarya's back, or the D.Va's back, right? Because this is still good damage. You're not the greatest at that, but don't worry so much about target priority. Instead, position yourself well, and then say, okay, I gotta start doing stuff, and then just shoot what you shoot, right? Now notice that I said cover though. The reason why you want to prioritize cover, because if you're just Tracer shooting tanks in front of the enemy backline, then that's how you get your head blown off.
Clip push and easily pick. All the shots were on vulnerable
Okay, well, I didn't know we were going to go over this clip, so here we go.
Here I make an unexpected push and easily pick off the Mercy before she can react.
Notice how Sonic Bow is helping him with these unaware situations. That's another thing that we could have talked about here. Is like how you can utilize your Sonic Bow to give you information so that you're able to catch enemies unaware, right? It's not just about scouting for defensive purposes, but about aggressive purposes as well.
And the Genji is not expecting to be shot at, so he's running in a straight line, giving me an easy shot. And here the Genji is forced to move in a straight line towards me because of dash. So once again I get a relatively easy shot. Dead. Here Ashe is not expecting to be shot, so she runs in a straight line. And the Mercy is locked into moving in a straight line because of jumping, so I get an easy shot. Next up is the most aim-intensive kill of this clip, but even here, the Genji is pretty much locked into moving predictably
that
because
double
of
jump
momentum
is
gained
suicide.
from jumping.
By the way, that is one thing that pro Genjis will often do, is they will jump and then double jump right as you start to shoot. You don't just spam double jump, double jump, double jump, double jump. Once you're locked in that double jump animation, you're stuck. So you can either use that second jump to bait the shot, or you can double jump, and at the apex of your double jump, that's when you look to deflect. You can do that to bait Widows, to bait Ashes, to bait, you know, Hanzo. Hanzo's a lot harder, but you go like jump, don't feet on floor, jump, be feet on floor, jump, jump, double jump. And then right there, that's when most people are going to look for the shot, and then that's when you deflect. But you also have to be aware of the weakness here, which is you notice that this Genji
is pretty
deflects
much
too
locked
early,
into moving predictably,
and then right in that double jump,
jump,
he can't do anything. Like the one Overwatch has perfect, does no movement conservation with 80/80 strafing until you jump in the air, and then you lose control, and so your movement becomes more predictable.
Holy shit.
Good try to copy pasta, boys.
To force them to move away from their shields. Even if the Ashe is aware of my position here, she's definitely not expecting me to shoot at her so fast and from such a weird angle, so she stands still to maximize her own ability to aim. Here the Mercy is locked in place, since she is low
LOS by Lamp as well is pretty funny.
down by Res. And the Baptiste is locked moving to the right because of momentum gained from jumping off the ledge. The Hanzo feels confident that he can finish me before I can shoot back, so kinda like the Ashe from before, he doesn't strafe to maximize his ability to aim. And the next target is running in a straight line since she expects to be safe inside her spawn. I get really close to the Sigma, so he has no chance of dodging my arrows. And same applies to the jump momentum locked Mercy. If you want to see this clip uninterrupted, check out my Twitter, ArgeOW. When you shoot or even look at...
I mean, I'd pin it on my Twitter too. If I had a clip like that, I'd pin that. I'd pin that on my chest. I'd find a way to animate a GIF on my chest and back, and I'd wear it at all times. I would go to the grocery store and I'd have it on my underwear. Like I don't even care.
The other targets will feel more safe since they think you're too busy to care about them. This is very important to know, especially when playing against Ana and Widow players, since when they feel safe, they will move as little as possible to maximize their own aim, like this Ana here. Here's another good example. The Ana is very far away, everyone is focusing the Zarya, so instead, I shoot at the Ana since I know she must feel safe.
That is such a greedy shot.
If you always shoot at the first target you see, you will miss out on so many free kills. Let's look at this clip from a different perspective.
I think, okay, let's pause right there in what he said, because I think that's interesting. So he's saying when you're on a good angle, on a good position, don't always get tunneled in towards tanks, Because you have to think about it this way. Tanks create space by baiting attention. They bait attention by being scary. So you shoot them, right? If Reinhardt's going in towards your team, you have to shoot him. Otherwise, he's going to kill you with your hammer. So then he baits attention to himself. Whoops. Right? And then as he does that, that allows the other little squishy, like little ants on Yellow's team, the Widowmakers, the Krees, to go take flanks and take map control and look for picks, right? That's what they're doing. Now, what he's saying is sometimes, especially as a hero like Hanzo or Widow, don't get tunneled on the tank if you're on a good position. Expect these guys to be trying to take space and take angles, and expect them to think, okay, they're all looking at my Rein, so I can take space, and then all of a sudden you blow your head off. Apparently got myself some big kills as Hanzo is sectional content. Yikes, Twitch. So it's like you're almost expecting them to not expect you to do it. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's like a brain on a brain on a brain, which is interesting. It's interesting. He's calling the tanks bluff. Right. Now, I want to be very clear that tanks being bluff in Overwatch is a legitimate thing. Like, you have to shoot tanks. You have to. But sometimes you might see an opportunity where, like, if you look, like, for example, look at this right here. This Zarya is creating space for her team, right? But the fight's lost. This Zarya poses no threat to your team right now because you've got 2 picks and you're all good. So you don't have to shoot her. So what you go, okay, I don't have to shoot this tank. Instead, I'm going to go for this. Have you ever played Tracer? For example, Tracer into a Nano Reinhardt. They nano the Reinhardt in, and you're Tracer. You're not going to really do anything to that Nano Reinhardt. But that Nano Reinhardt might create an opportunity for you to go for backline, because backline's saying, oh, we're nanoing Rein in. I could just go in. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that Onapile will chuck grenade aggressively, and there's your free pick.
Kills. If you always shoot at the first target you see,
For example, here. I think the important, like, he's not ignoring Hog, but Hog is sleeping. Maul is like AFK right now, right? So this is no threat. This is no threat. They do not deserve your attention. This is the threat, so you shoot at that. You can shoot this Hog in a second. You can shoot these guys now. So kind of an interesting concept.
you will miss out on so many free kills. Let's look at this clip from a different perspective. So when I got hooked by the Roadhog, my teammates were still behind this car.
Would you say it's a flex shot? I mean, it could definitely be a flex shot. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
So the enemy team feels extremely safe. They also expect me to be too busy fighting with the Hog here, so they stand completely still to maximize their aim. So instead, I just ignore the Hog and go for the easy picks behind the Hog. This is basically the same principle as in the previous clips where I picked off the Ana. For most
Okay, my problem with this is if this Hog was awake, you would need to shoot the Hog first. Because if you do not shoot the Hog, he will hook you and kill you. Or he will hook you and kill you. Or he will hook you and kill you. Right? So you have to shoot the Hog. The point being is that as the tanks went in, A, you either couldn't do anything to them, or B, they're incapacitated as they were in which case, okay, leave a B, go kill someone out. For example, think about it this way. You sleep a Primaling Monkey, the worst thing that you can do if you sleep a Primaling Monkey is stare at it. Go kill stuff. You got 4 or 5 seconds. They're all gonna be thinking, oh, we're going in, Primal Monkey, let's go, yeah! Right? And then you catch them with the pants down, right? Which is what RJ is talking about here. When they don't pose threat to your team, you don't need to look at them. What if you give them the pillow spray? Well, then that's obviously worth your time. What was that accent? What was that accent, son?
you
got a problem with my accent?
Get hooked from up here,
I grew up
you
in
would
the
have
South, so I
probably
can make
still
fun of it.
shot the Hog since he's the first target you see. But it would be way more beneficial to just try to shoot at one of these targets.
I don't, okay. I really think this is an interesting tip, but it requires me holding your hands through it, because basically what he's saying is like, ignore tanks, shoot backline, like catch them off guard, which is an extremely hero specific feedback for, like, you know, a Widow, Hanzo, Tracer, something that's pick oriented, and it's also something that only works because the Roadhog was sleeping, right? And it only worked because the enemy Zarya on the last clip was posing no threat because you already won the fight. But it's not something that I generally give out. So it's good information, but it needs to be sifted. Otherwise, it could be really, really, really misconstrued.
They feel way more safe, and they have way less HP than a Roadhog. The Roadhog can easily just start vaping and walk behind the cover in here. In the future, I want you to be aware about who you're shooting at. Especially when playing sniper heroes, most of the time you shouldn't keep shooting at your target after you already missed a shot on them.
This is a good shot. Good shot, I say. Good tip. Good tip. Don't just stop shooting at them. Probably adjust your positioning. Right? Re-peeking an angle into an enemy sniper is feeding, right? But it's also feeding if the sniper stays in the same angle over and over and over again, doesn't adjust their positioning or doesn't adjust their target. This is a good tip.
If you can't find vulnerable targets, just change your position. Even if you have multiple targets, you might want to shoot at the same target again, like in this clip. If the Hanzo had stayed on the platform and moved unpredictably, I would have shot the Widow instead, since she thinks I'm busy shooting at the Hanzo. But since the Hanzo will die from a body shot unlike the Widow, and is stuck mid-jump, I shoot him again. Now I shoot the Sonic Arrow at the Widow and fake jumping down to change angles, and with the help of the Sonic Arrow vision, I can re-peek and shoot her before she can react.
Nice.
Yo, the video is not ending yet. I just wanted to remind you guys to press that subscribe button, okay? Yeah, that one, yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Let's continue with the video. Making it seem like you're changing your position, but then instead just re-peeking the same angle again, is a great way to make your targets unaware without wasting time changing positions. If possible,
this is just Sonic Bow. This is just Sonic Bow.
Only peek when you're ready to shoot. This way your target will have less time to react. One mistake that I see everyone doing is not looking for the next target until you visibly confirm that the previous target is dead. This is especially noticeable on projectile heroes. But once you get over the need to see if you actually hit or killed your target, this is how fast your enemies will start dying. Oh my god! Whenever you miss your shots or
maybe if ish. It's not a big deal. It's a very, very minor thing.
Fight, just think about, did you see your target before they saw you? Did you go on autopilot and shot at the first target you saw? Did your targets have any vulnerabilities?
Okay, did you see your target first? Well, that implies you being on a good position, a good angle to split attention. Did you go on autopilot and just shoot at the first target you saw? I mean, that's a good tip not to do that.
Maybe even check
targets have any vulnerabilities.
The replay to figure out who you could have shot instead. The more effort you put into developing your game sense, the faster you will improve. There are too many situational tips to fit them all in this video, but let's talk about a couple more. The easiest part to optimize is your starting rotation for every map. Here I like to start off on the high ground, taking a couple shots on the enemies coming in from the right, so then all the enemies will hug the left side to stay out of my arrows. And now, when I drop down, they are all running directly towards me, giving me free headshots.
That's good. That's cool.
Leave a comment if you want me to do a video about all my starting rotations. One cheeky trick is to not react immediately if you hear or see an enemy. Like here, I wait until the last possible moment before I turn on the Tracer, so she lets her guard down. Since I wait to turn until she's already shooting at me, she feels confident in being able to kill me before I shoot back.
Woo! That's a risky tip, though. Just chill, let them shoot you a little bit, and then 180 flick.
This play was sponsored by expressvpn.com/Arga. Make sure you head over.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna give it a high tolerable. And I know that might seem a little low for people. I just think that in general there was a lot of information that was like, wait, did it not go? Hello? Tolerable? What happened to my hotkeys? Oh wait, what? I turned them off.
Not bad.
Wait. You gotta do it now? Hello? Senior? Chat? Oh, I ruined it. I ruined it, chat. There's no hotkey anymore.
Not bad.
Well, shoot. There goes all the fun. It's like I launched the tolerable thing. All right, I'm gonna have to check into that later. But yeah, I'll give it a tolerable. There's a lot of information that was interesting, and there were some good tips, but a lot of it was missing context, and a lot of it was not super useful. And it also, like, a part of it was like a little bit dangerous if it didn't have context with it. But I thought it was a decent video. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know what happened, chat. I don't know what I must have like combined everything and like all scuffed it up. I simultaneously improve my my Twitch streaming capabilities and then just also plummet at the same time. Like it's Oh, I had to remove the hotkeys at one time? Maybe? I don't remember. I remember I had issues with the hotkeys, but I don't remember having to remove it entirely. Okay. Do you guys want a sneak peek preview of a YouTube video that we're gonna release? You guys want a sneak peek preview? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's only 3 minutes, all right? It's only 3 minutes.
Not bad.
I'm gonna get rid of chat for just a second. There you go. Okay. Good luck. Have fun. I'm not gonna talk either. No! You son of a gun! I knew something was up! Okay, let's go to some right here. So speaking of jacked alpha males, we're plat 9, so slightly higher. This is very, very low plat, so let's not to, humiliate Insignia. It's not to, humiliate Insignia. So this I don't love. This does not spark happiness. High ground. High ground. High ground. How do you go from delighting me to absolutely disappointing me instantaneously? Can we draw like a little clown makeup on these guys? El no sabe? I don't know what that means. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce sabe or sabe. Sabe? Sabi? You're already feeding. Let me be very clear. You have not only disappointed me now, you have disgusted me. You've done nothing. You've done nothing. Oh, nice shatter. Nice shatter. You bot. You're not even worth my time. I'm not paid enough for this, man. Okay, so let's not just flame, yell, holler, screech, and, poop all over this guy. Okay, let's actually screw that. We're gonna poop all over this guy. Like, just that. This is just shameful. What are you guys talking about? Let me clarify this. You did nothing. You did almost nothing to contribute to this team fight win. How much would you pay this Ryan to coach you? I don't know. You get nothing. You get no credit. That's just complete luck. You did nothing. Like, you landed a good shatter, but it's like you're constantly. It's just agony, man. It's just agony. I'm so tired of chat. We're almost done. We're almost home free. We're almost done from repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. You guys weren't there yet. Shatter. Shatter, 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 shatter. Shatter, 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 shatter. The fight's over. Shatter! He doesn't shatter. Okay, I'm done. I can't. This guy dies with shatter in the last fight. Okay, I just can't. No. No, it wasn't. Oh! No! You son of a gun! I knew something was up! Anyway, so yes, that will be on YouTube later this week, hopefully. Now I've got to put everything back. Welcome back, chat! Welcome back! Welcome back! Yay! We're back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's. That was fun. I honestly had no idea. I had had absolutely no idea what the deal was. So apparently, IOSX didn't either. So that was also fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to coach. It's time to coach. It's time to coach. The best part about that is IOSX was the guy who reviewed me back when I was like gold years ago. Years ago. All right. let's do this, chat. It's time to coach. It's time to coach. You're one of the chief architects? Right, so you take full responsibility then. Okay, here's the best part, all right? Here's the best part about today's support VOD review, all right? We've got 3 heroes. 3, you hear me? 3. And I want you guys to hold on to your butt cheeks because we're coaching Moira. We're gonna start off with Mercy. We're gonna do a little bit of Lucio. That's gonna be grand. But oh boy, we're doing some Moira. It's been a long time since we've done some Moira. Yeah, I'm legitimately wetting myself over. Legitimately, we're just gonna go. Can't come back from that. Okay, so Mercy, quick TLDR, pocket who's doing something, protect yourself, position properly, prioritize damage boost whenever you can. Why the Moira slander? Oh, that's right. Is that a capital offense? My bad. Damage boost on soldier, let's go. Oh, before I go, wait. Support. I'm gonna do my bottom left text update. Rank is... You guys want to guess what rank this is? What rank is this? What rank is it? Plat? You guys ready? Drum roll. There you go. Let's have some fun. Okay. Let's go. My UI is just so clean. I'm just honestly phenomenal at organizing and managing this. Damage booster soldier, because he's at range, he's doing stuff. Poggers. Keep damage boost up. Keep damage boost up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Right in the succulents. Sorry. Why were you healing your BAP and why are you damage boosting your BAP? Stop healing your BAP. Stop healing your BAP. Stop healing your BAP. Now, if you guys want to hear a coincidence, the last Mercy VOD review that we did was actually on Crash. I'm pretty sure this is the same Crash that we reviewed on Eichenwald, right? This is him, right? This is Crash right here, okay? All right, are we going to get our pocketing right? No, we're going to lose beam. Okay, it just astonishes me that a hero that requires very little direct mechanics with your clickety clicks, right? I'm not gonna go on and on about how all the different complexities of Mercy. You guys are gonna have to wait for the Plat Mercy VOD review later this week. But it astonishes me that we see so many basic errors out of Mercy. Like how? Like right now, okay, totally fine, damage boost good, heal a full HP person. Why? We beam nobody. We beam somebody who's full HP. We beam somebody who's full HP some more. We damage boost a Ryan who needs healing and who's not doing anything. Then we like do this. Oh, okay, there's the damage boost. All right. Ah! So some issues with maintaining your beam. Be very careful with your Guardian. Okay, so one thing that we can see right now, chat, what do you notice about Guardian Angel usage? What do you notice about Guardian Angel usage right now? Can you guys point it out? Let's do this. You guys help me do the VOD review. What do you notice about Guardian Angel usage right here? Right. Oh, not there, but right here. Well, a little bit to there. This one, right? And definitely this one. And then again here. Right, so we're canceling Guardian Angel a little, so we're spamming Guardian Angel, which isn't great. You should avoid using Guardian Angel until you need to, but it's also you're not canceling it fast enough. You want to be max beam range whenever possible. So you don't want to be Guardian Angeling to here, Guardian Angeling to here, Guardian Angel to here. You want to be like, yo, you're here, man. Like, dude, get your beam connected and then just chill. You know what I'm saying? You do not want to be moving towards your tanks when you're beaming. Okay? Unfortunate. Like, you obviously have to be somewhat close. But, yeah. We got very, very, very little value out of Mercy early on. Number one, because we are not damage boosting, healing the right people at the right time. Damage boost people who are doing things. Only heal when a person needs healing. Only heal tanks when they're critical. especially if you're playing with a BAP. Generally, if you're playing with the Zen Mercy, then yeah, you're gonna have to be healing your tanks a lot more. But until that point in time, you need to be way better about who you're healing. And then obviously random damage boosts and random heals to people that either weren't doing anything with the damage boost or healing people who are already full HP. That, along with Guardian Angeling right, and then breaking our beam a lot too. So there was just flat out downtime. Not only were we beaming the wrong person, where we weren't beaming at all. So concerning. Oh no, my VOD! I work so hard. Why do you guys do this to me? Okay, we keep going. All right. So we're not even going to get into the situation of like, when should I damage boost my Hog, when he lands a hook, when my Genji's blading, when my soldier's ulting, when just be damage boosting somebody who's doing something. Right now, damage boost your soldier. Good. You could probably Valk this. Nice. Okay, damage boost, AoE. All right. I want you looking. You're checking the flank here, but I need you looking to see who needs the damage boost. Because once you check this once, then you're good for like 3 or 4 seconds, right? So then prioritize on damage boosting the right person. Right? Very good. Good. Ooh. Oh, you can res that. I might res that just to be safe. I know you might be thinking I don't need res, but I'm a little concerned with 2 CP. But sure. Again, do you see this? Do you see this? This is really important. This is what we pointed out earlier. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Right here. Your Genji's fine. I would, if anything, Guardian walk forward here, and then you're fine. But instead you walk forward, and then you Guardian Angel here. This is not it. No. No. And it's putting you in bad positions, which then means that you panic, you turn around, you run around, and then there's beam downtime. You see that? There was a good second of beam downtime and risking your life, all for a Guardian Angel that you didn't even need. The thing with Mercy is, let's put it this way. Mercy is not one of those heroes where, okay, you're playing Ana, right? You miss a couple shots, not the end of the world. You still have sleep, you still have nade, you can hit a couple of shots, position yourself really well, and turn the fight. Mercy is very similar to Moira. I'm trying to think of another hero. Mercy, Moira, let's just say with those 2 heroes. In that, if you make repeated bad decisions with your positioning, with your damage boost, with your heal, you don't have the capability in your kit to clutch a fight. Very rarely do you have the capability. So if you make bad decisions and the enemy team has more HP than they should because you haven't been damage boosting right, or your team is lower in HP than they should, or your Genji had to give up a flank because he wasn't being pocketed, or your Reinhardt doesn't get damage boost on his swing, so he has to back off. And like over the course of like the first 10 seconds of a fight, you make bad, even in poke phase, you make bad decisions, bad positioning, bad damage boost. Eventually, the enemy team will get on top of you, and you will reach the point to where you did so little early in the fight, it's no longer turnable. Not by you, anyway. Like, Mercy is a hero that needs to be consistently throughout the fight making good decisions. Think of her as like, okay, I don't know a lot about investing, which is ironic because I have a degree in finance, but it's been years since I've worked on finance. Think of it as like, Mercy is like the mutual fund, right? Slow 5, 6, 7, 8% return on investment over a course of a year, right? That adds up, that adds up, that adds up, that adds up, adds up, and then all of a sudden the enemy team, they cannot win. You've done too much for your team. And that and other supports have like the Vegas factor, right? Where they don't have as much impact as Mercy has early in the fight, but they can always clutch it later, right? They can click some heads, they can get a huge nade, right? Mercy is oppressive if played really well over and over and over and over and over for the multiple seconds of a fight. You get yourself an overwhelming advantage that you can't beat. Like the enemy team has way too much of an advantage. But if you make really bad decisions over and over and over and early in the fight, you might as well just uninstall because you're not coming back. It's too late. I do have a degree in finance. I do. I unironically have a degree in finance. So, you know, you've got the Vegas supports that, yeah, it's not good investment. You might just throw the match, but at least there's always a chance that maybe you clutch it. Maybe you pop off. With you, there's no way for you to pop off. The only pop off you have is maybe with Valk Res. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have pop off potential. That's obviously completely false, but your pop off potential is a little lower. You need to be more consistent. And this is why APM with Mercy is so important. It's because it's min-maxing every little advantage that you can get early on through the fight. You need every little advantage you can get. Like, for example, right there. Do you see this? This is what we're talking about. These are the little things that we like to highlight. Heal beam your Rein, great. But you drop off the heal beam to damage boost a soldier, unfortunate. And then you heal beam back on your Rein. Maybe the damage boost was good there, but I think in that situation there, I would have preferred you to just heal beam your Rein because he's critical. I don't think the 30% extra damage on soldier, you might get another 30 or 40 damage out of the soldier there. If you're lucky for that brief damage boost, it's not worth it. If that was a damage boosted fire rocket or maybe a damage boosted blade, maybe that would be different, but it's just a couple of soldier shots. In that situation there, you traded off 60 or 70 healing, maybe a little more depending on how long that beam would have connected, for like 25, 30 extra damage. That's a bad return on investment, right? Unless this was like the final blow. You kind of see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna nitpick over this because it's a gold Mercy, it's not a big deal. But that's kind of what I'm talking about there. Those kind of micro things. Okay. Again, that's a situation, especially in 2CP, where I would have preferred you to go for the support rather than the res. Remember, that's a common thing that we always bring. Make sure the fight is stabilized before you res, because look at this here. What if one of these guys had died? Your BAP, Genji, or Soldier. Keep them alive, then go for the res afterwards. Or if your team can stabilize and hide, then say, hey guys, hide. I'm resing, right? You still lose your Soldier. Okay.
Damage increase.
Again, you see the min-maxing there, healing Orion, healing Orion. There's the damage boost that needs to be happening. Again, what's with the Guardian Angel here? Let me look at this again. Was this Guardian Angel necessary? No, it was not. Yeah, I mean, you dropped. I mean, well, first off, like, why are you dropping? And second off, why are you this close? And then third off, why Guardian Angel? And you're healing. Ooh, careful. Careful. That's a situation where you would need to Guardian Angel, not just, but you need to Guardian Angel jump cancel, right? So you would need to beam your ball, Guardian Angel, jump cancel, and instead you get caught here. Everybody understands what I mean by jump cancel, right? It's a very basic, the most basic Mercy tech, but also the most important. Unfortunate. But like your little positioning mishap here might have led to that, right? Again here, be very careful. The enemy team is setting up good splits in you guys. This is really scary. Valk.
Heroes never die.
Oh, thanks, Connor. Appreciate it. Again, it's downtime. There's always downtime with you. You see this? You Valk. Downtime. Downtime again. Ooh. Downtime again. And by downtime, I mean there's a lot of time when you're not beaming anybody. There you go. But you need to work on your jump cancel. You need to work on your jump cancel here. So right here, unfortunate beam drops, you come out, you heal. Right here, your job is to get to here. Right? So this is where you need to Guardian Angel, press mouse space right now, and get all the way there. I don't think we know that tech, or we're not utilizing it enough. It looks like we don't know how to do it. I'll go over it really fast when this VOD is, or once this defense is done, and then we're stuck, and then now we should be dead. Sit down. Sit down. Neandara has a good guide on how to do different GA cancels for your... Yeah, so I'm not going to pretend that I know all the GA cancels. There's a lot of them. Most of them aren't necessary until you get to like a ridiculously high rank. And even then, the times in which you use them are very low. Like you don't use them very often. It's an occasional thing. But there's at least a couple that are worth using. Neandra. It's Neandra, right? I'm sorry, Connor. I don't remember asking your opinion on anything. Ever. And I don't think I ever will. Again, here, this is kind of a situation here where I know it's a little scary, but I would consider peeking here and damage boosting my Genji. If you get like max beam range around the corner, or get on your soldier. Yes. Good. That's another situation where you need to Guardian Angel cancel. You see it? Because you need to get on that high ground here. So you go up, but your Guardian Angel doesn't reach here. It only goes to the person you Guardian Angel to, and then you drop like a rock, and you whip out the pistol. we need to work at our Guardian Angel control. I will say this. For a Gold Mercy, you seem way more acquainted with damage boost than most Gold Mercies that I review. And chat will back me up in this. When we review, you guys would probably, in your own experience, do we ever see this much damage boost out of a Gold Mercy? Hydrate, thank you. Like, it feels like I almost never see this. So this is good. Where at least it looks like, okay, this is what it looks like. It looks like you've seen some higher rank Mercies play, or you've seen a Mercy VOD review, and you're trying to replicate it, but you're just bad at it. The good news is that you're on the right track, and then really just need reps, and obviously a little bit of guidance that we'll give you here. But like right there, you drop beam. There's no real reason for you to not be like standing here, right? 80-80 strafing, or standing literally on the high ground. Great Valk. Perfect timing right as the enemy team comes in. Again, do you see beam downtime? Wait, was I missing it, or was there beam downtime? I might have missed it. Okay, there's a beam. Yeah, there was beam downtime. There was a lot of beam downtime. And Valk to make it worse. Gonna go for the res. Very careful. I hope you die. Good. Prioritize your Genji. Good. Okay. Almost done. Can we hold? Yeah, see, again, do you see how, like, chat, look at where we land our Guardian Angel. We clunk our feet, our boots, right here. And it's not just about where you land. The reason the Guardian Angel is good because you maintain momentum. Even if you ended your Guardian Angel here, you would start slowing down about here. Whereas if you Guardian Angel and jump cancel here, you would keep your same speed until you got to about here. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's like saying, it's not just you stop sooner in the open. It's you want to stop there, so you go zoom. Right? As opposed to ponk, right? Not only are you kind of in the open here, but you started slowing down even before you got where in the open, and that's no good. You want to keep the acceleration. I gotta go fast, you know? You're fast like that, all the way, like overshoot a little bit. Now, obviously, you have to be careful about if there's any enemies over here. But that's something that we need to work on, because right now you were like, if we look at this from the enemy perspective here.
60 seconds.
Okay, let's look at this here. This right here, you see you're already slowing down. You don't want to be slowing down. You want to be going zoom like that. You want to zoom. Shoulders much better, thank you. It was a very, very minor thing, but I'm always a little bit hesitant. Again. Yeah, this is definitely Guardian Angel's the thing for us. Very careful. Okay, good. Your beam's dropping again. Oh, bless. Yeah, just mispositioned there a little bit. Unlucky. Okay, so like let's just go over it really fast. I don't need to go over it quick, like long. This will take like 2 seconds. I'm honestly in pretty good, like, injury wise. I'm honestly okay considering the amount of injuries I had in high school, like with football and stuff. Okay, so you know, Guardian Angel here. You know, if I just hold Guardian Angel, you know, this is where I want to go. But I don't want to be in the middle of combat, so what I do is I jump right at the apex, right? And you'll have to toy with it. You should toy with it. Because if I jump earlier, I don't quite go as far, right? But I can go like that and launch myself over. So if I'm like, oh no, this person needs healing here, right to cover. You kind of see that? So I won't go into the details. That's something for you to figure out. And there's a lot of VODs that'll do a better job explaining it than I will, so just look into that. Okay. Hey, Neptune. I'm doing well. Thank you. Okay, so let's do this. We move on to the next hero. So that was just part of the replay. Now we move on to the next hero. Just make sounds as you zoom around. Connor's the type of guy who makes sounds doing anything that he's doing. Okay, we keep going.
I'm here.
How much Lucio do we play? Okay, it's just a little bit of Lucio. We'll get a little bit of Lucio and a little bit of Moira. We gotta dip our toes in the Moira. Just a little bit of Moira. We want a little bit of Moira. Okay, so the deal with Lucio is, you know, decide when you're aggressing, speed. When the enemy team is aggressing, speed. But when neither team is really moving, you're gonna be on heals. Okay. The scene. Chill out. Amp speed. Stay on speed, stay on speed, stay on speed. It feels counterintuitive to be like, oh no, my team needs a little bit of healing, but it's better for you to get out of this area faster. Let your BAP heal them and you just get them out of here fast. So stay on speed throughout this. So, right. So, like, the other thing, too, is, like, when you go for a boop, I want you looking for aggression. So, look at what you did here. This is really important. Look at what you did here. As your Rein started to kind of go forward here, your Genji went in. Look at what you do. Do you see how you're like, I'm thinking about this here. This is the correct play. This is the correct play. The hair seems more contained. Did you just provoke me? Hi, Kitty.
She wants to sit with you.
I don't know if she does. I think she gets too scared of the earbuds. She doesn't like it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So this is the play. As your Rein is initiating, I want you to be more in speed here if possible. But also, you notice how, like, as your Rein is initiating, that's when you kind of look for a boop. That's when you kind of look to go in and red it a little bit. It could be, you know, shooting the brig a little bit. It could be booping somebody else in. Now, the mistake here is you're like, okay, I don't really see anything. I'm not going to go for it. And then as your Rein is shielding out, that's when you go in. And this is the error. When your Rein goes in, you play aggressive. When your Monkey goes in, you play aggressive. When your ball slams, you play aggressive. When your Orisa shields and starts to spam, I don't care if you're playing Lucio with Orisa, that's when you go aggressive. When your Zarya has bubble, you go aggressive. But right now, you guys have gone in. You did not see anything. Your Rein backs out. Your Genji backs out. And yet you are still here. And this is where you can very easily die. And you see how you amp there? The amp is a very selfish amp. Your Rein's going to respond to it and push up with you. So that's good. But that's an accident. That's not a good play.
Love you.
Love you. Be safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the amp just is kind of lucky, right? So very basic things with Lucio. That was phenomenal. Now he honestly, Pharah did cheat out of here. Check. How did it? Man. Like right now, heal song. But you are literally on edge. You were like ready to sprint. Literally, you're on heels and you're literally ready to sprint. Like at any point in time, because those first couple of seconds, just how you sprint, like you amp speed through that initial choke on first, that's the same thing. Ignore this spinning from last time. Oh yeah, true. Thank you for being honest. I would have come after your house. If you had tried to get a roaster highlight for free, I would have come to your house and man, I'm not gonna even tell you what I'm not gonna even tell you. I'm just gonna leave it right there. You're smiling so much today, Spyro. Did something special happen? Bye, be safe, please. I'm not going to dignify that with a response. You realize saying that I look happy? That's like calling a beauty queen ugly. Like that you've just ruined the vibe. Like I'm not aiming for happy. What is your problem? Okay. Focusing on gameplay here. But yeah, a little too much speed here. Heals. Okay. Good peel. I don't know why you're amping. Okay, you guys are amping now. You guys are going. Oh no, you fall off. And then you're on heals. So a little goofiness with the song there. Like an amp, probably not necessarily needed. Maybe you guys were like taking that time to rotate through, in which case stay on amp speed. You ended up launching yourself out of the path of your team, and then you had to catch up. And then you're catching up in heal song. So just some clunkiness with our Lucio right now. Now, right now, chat, we play passive. But now we have the opportunity to go more aggressive. The problem is that how we go aggressive isn't super clean. So let's look at this one more time. Amp in, but do you notice how far ahead of your Rein you are? Right? Or really the rest of your team. Like your Rein's here, you're split completely, and not only that, you're on the floor. Can we get a different acronym from PMA? All right, chat, that's your challenge. For the next 5 minutes, I need a better acronym from PMA that fits me better. So basically, you are aggressing with your Rein, but you're at the same time as Rein, but you're not aggressing really with your Rein, which sometimes is okay, but I need you to be on the wall if you do that, because you're a floor monkey right now. Like, look at you. You go in, you're on the floor, clonk, and this is no good. So you would want to be either here or along here, something along those lines. Another thing as well, just a very, very nitpicky micro thing, is as Lucio, do make it a priority of yours to break turret, because your damage isn't very high, but it's fine enough against a turret. So like, worry about breaking that turret if you can, because really you die to being on the floor and also the turret, which you do not break. Positive mental status, PMS. Nice. No. You guys are dumb as rocks. I want something that starts with PMA, but implies something else. Like poop mental assault. See, I tried once and mine was 10 times better than any of yours. Poop mental assault. That's my new metal band name. Persistently mashing awareness. Okay, we're gonna go. Let me look at this amp really quick before we go. Oh, cat, what do you want? Cat, oh, cat, what do you want? What do you want, cat? Premenstrual attitude? I don't know about that. Spylo and the poop mental assault. Please, ma'am. Anna? What? Why did you amp? I'm sorry. Oh, just keep yourself alive. I mean, it's a little aggressive, but honestly, I'm just kind of glad to see that we're not sitting AFK on main. Like, I'm not even gonna nitpick this, and I'm really not gonna nitpick this as much either, because I'm kind of happy to see a lower rank Lucio that's actually like trying to Reddit a little bit. Like, that's so refreshing to me. Like, so many, like, it's like Ryan's at AFK on main, Mercy's at AFK heal beam. Lucio's to just kind of stay in heal song behind the Ryan. Like, eventually that playstyle just doesn't work anymore. Like, you have to do more than that. And like, although we're kind of feeding, like, I respect the try, I respect the attempts. Like, okay, again, totally fine. Look at my man. Bang! Smack right in the giblets. You know what I'm saying? But then you're in on speed, okay? You're completely split from your team. That's kind of unfortunate. That's a team-wide error, right? But then this is the issue. You're still on speed song, and you run directly at a turret instead of like, honestly, you could have like backed here and just like spammed at this turret from here, from cover, from heal song, and instead you like walk in. So I guess for you as Lucio is one, try and like get off the, continue doing what you're doing in terms of staying off the floor. Just make sure that you're timing your aggression with your tanks. I don't know, man. This Lucio honestly feels like this Lucio, like, here's the thing. There's such a thing as overcoaching. And I look at this and I'm like, this Lucio has the right idea. We just need a lot more practice. That's all. So I don't want you to think too much. I just think you keep doing what you're doing, pay attention, help your team, like make sure that you're playing around your team and or at the same time as your team, and just keep it up. Unlike your Mercy, I don't think there's anything that's like fundamentally you misunderstand or completely confused about. I just think you're just bad at Lucio right now. But you have the right idea. You're gonna get there. Poop mental assault, passionate molding bald man. What? Permanent major agony, protruding metal ant. Oh, I completely misread what was said. I thought it said, please, ma'am, Anna. Okay, I'm glad I misread that. Professional masochist advisor, pretty mad advisor, power of mental ascension, pole metal alchemist, personal morale associate. That was pretty good. Okay, so yeah, Lucio, play more. Keep doing what you're doing. Just pay more attention to what you're, when and where your team are going in. Person of mild agitation. That one is good. That one is especially good because of the caps. All right, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do a couple of these. I feel bad because I'm not gonna be able to do all of them. Person of mild agitation. Personal morale associate. How much? Professional masochist advisor. I'm sorry. Poop mental assault. And I'm not putting that one chat. Petty man aggression. That's pretty good. And oh, and pre-malding adventures. PP man away. I guess that's too much. Let's get rid of the masochist advisor. Too many sexual annotations. Yes! Refresh stream, chat. We've done it. PMA streamer. Shoot. I'm just gonna leave streamer. I'm just gonna leave streamer. No, I'm not polling. Okay, so Moira. Big thing with Moira is damage orb to build coalescence, heal orb in critical tanks. You can either damage orb early and often for ult charge, or you can be a little more patient with your orb and heal orb when it's necessary. What generally happens a lot of times is that Moiras will spam damage orb mid fight when they should probably be heal orbing, and they don't spam damage orb early fight when they could be farming ult charge. That and resource management, general positioning stuff. So heal up there was fine because I see crit tanks. Also, this is what I'm talking about, like being new to the game. This just amuses me to no end. That is a wall. You do have a BAP as well though, so there's a lot of healing. You have the two of the biggest healers in the game of Overwatch stacked. So you guys have a glut of healing, to be honest. Like right now, yeah, yes, damage orb. Yep. A little greedy. We need to work on our spray accuracy. Like you missed like several sprays there unnecessarily. And obviously using your fade to help a Genji is okay, but just be very careful now. No more puff, no more puff, no more puff. Puff. There's a little bit of discipline with our puff. So for example, the puff provides a heal over time. What does it last? 2 seconds now? 2 seconds. So you need to puff. But don't keep puffing here. They're already basically full HP and you have a BAP as well. Save some of your resource here because now you're at half. Puff here if you want to. Puff. But you see how you hold it for like an extra tick, which just isn't needed. Like again, Moira, very similar to Mercy, is death by 1,000 paper cuts if you play poorly. There's not gonna be, very rarely will I find any one thing that's just, oh, that's just terrible, you threw whatever. It's gonna be a ton of little things. Okay, you damage orbed a little too late, you heal orbed a little too early. You fade there probably wasn't 100% necessary. Resource management, a little iffy, right? A little too much spray. A right click there would have been nice, but you didn't right click, so you missed out on some regen, right? I understand why you heal orb there. But you can see again here, right here, heal orb fine, right click, he's beated, you get him, but now, what do we need to be doing right now, chat? What do we need to be doing? Kind of stay on the topic of like the little, tiny little puff, puff, pass, bro. Yeah, puff. Puff your Ryan once and then right click Lucio. So that he drops shield, he already has an active hot on him that allows him to heal up some of the initial chip damage. Wasn't somebody critical on the right? Yeah, it's Hog though, so I think he's okay. But yeah, you need to puff here and then right click. But it said you're walking in front of your Ryan and that Ryan has no active hot on him. And you're probably gonna fade now. Oh, you don't fade, good. That's questionable. That's questionable. So this is questionable. Fading into the enemy is generally very aggressive and something you only want to do when your team is definitely pushing in. But they're Hans holding and they're minesing, so they're probably not pushing in. They're probably backing out until those are done. And then you see critical teammates, and you not only orb late, but you damage orb. This is not good. This is not good. This needs to be a heal orb. And then you need to be like legit AFK, right-clicking this Lucio or Moira or this ball and looking to get out as quickly as you can. Don't swing wide like this. You are in a serious danger. Right there, we're gonna go to this Torb's POV. If this is a plat Torb, you're gonna die. You see this? You see that? Do you see how close you came to dying right there? So you went in too deep. You did the wrong orb when you had critical teammates, and now, and the problem with missing the heal orb there is that your Ryan hasn't really fully regen, so you're gonna have to literally use your entire resource just to keep your Reinhardt alive. The reason why orb management is really important is so that you're finding the balance between building ults as quickly as possible, the damage orb spam, and not running out of resource, because heal orb is a great resource to prevent you from running out mid-fight. Right? So right now it's just a train wreck. Like, you're not winning this fight. And then you damage orb again into a critical Ryan. Which, I don't mean, the fight was lost basically either way. But it shows me that you haven't really, like, you don't know what to look for, right? You don't know what to look for. You see critical teammates, that's a heal orb, right? It's not a damage orb. The hot, okay, let's look it up right now. The hot is definitely gotten nerfed. But it's still something. I think it's 2 seconds. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on! Okay, the hot is lingering heal 35 over 2 seconds. So yeah, it's 35 healing over 2 seconds. So it's not Gerbot. Thank you for the 150. Gerbot 150. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I butchered that one. Holy smokes. So it's definitely very small, but it's something. It's something. But you take that. You know what I'm saying? Don't damage orb here. You already have ultimate. Don't feed ult charge, please. It's not even any meaningful pressure. Like, I'm not saying never damage orb when you have ultimate. Maybe there's a squishy Zen in the backline and you guys are diving in or you guys are going in and you put enough pressure on the Zen for the Ana to turn around and heal the Zen instead of healing Orion. So, like, theoretically, damage orb can get value even if you already have ult, but it doesn't. But at this point in time, there's not a fight actually happening, so it's not doing anything.
This will improve your condition.
Okay, spray, and then, again, doesn't do anything. Doesn't really do anything because you're like, okay, it puts out a little pressure, yes, but I would rather you sit on your orb because at any point in time you might need an orb. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, you guys are going in. This is where you would have a damage orb available. You would like to have a damage orb available. Now your damage orb did work. Like we're gonna look here, and we're gonna look. What? Hello? Look at your damage orb. So it's a little bit closer to a team fight, right? So let's watch it right now. Okay, Fire Strike. Damage orb comes in, does a little sucky on the Sigma, a little sucky in the Hanzo, right? Right, that does something, but I would rather combine that with your Cole right now. You see what I'm saying? Can you imagine if you had damage orb right now, damage orb plus Cole? It's about min-maxing, right? Every little detail we gotta worry about with Moira. Because those are the details that happen over and over again. And again, what do I want from you right now? You've got 3 kills. First off, I do not want you walking in front of Reinhardt's shield. Second off, I don't want you damage orbing a Torbjorn turret. And then bouncing it entirely off the wall. And then now you're critical and it doesn't do anything. Remember with Moira, it's about the little decisions that happen over and over and over again. Because you're a hero that's very repetitive. Resource management, orb use, fade. Resource management, orb use, fade. Over and over and over again. Right now, bad orb usage. And now you're gonna have to fade because of your bad orb usage. And now you're stuck. Notice again how you fade into the enemy team. Where's the space that your team controls? More along these lines here or more along these lines here? Like maybe you slam here and you fade here and you die to ball, but you have to anticipate this to be more space controlled by your team. I appreciate the cover at least. Heal orb. Again, I say heal orb here just to play it safe. And again, look at your Rein, right? Look at your Rein. Pop, 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 pop. No. If this was a Zenyatta unsupported, different question. But this is a Sigma. It's going to take you forever to pressure him. At which case, your entire team is going to be needing support. This is a look at what happens. Look what happens as you go for the Sigma. Not only do you clunk your damage orb. Look at your McCree. Hello. You could have saved this. You could have saved this. You could have faded out of the flex, and you would have been fine. And then you heal orb now, where damage orbing would have actually made sense, because you got immortality field and you got tanks that aren't critical. So we really want to be looking at it. Why do you fade that? You actually die. That's the best part, is you died without Hanzo. Okay, so you should have died there. So for you, I want damage orb for charge or damage orb in a squishy duel. Heal orb is a priority with low tanks, and I want you not fading into the enemy team. So orb usage, in specific regards of orbing, heal orbing, critical tanks. You know, actually, forget the fade stuff. Forget the fade stuff right now. Let's just do orb usage. Orb should be used to heal critical tanks or to heal yourself. Or to build ult charge. But if you're in the middle of a fight and stuff is getting hectic and crazy and people are taking a lot of damage, damage orb generally just doesn't provide as much return on investment. Okay. Alrighty. We keep going. I have the PMA streamer. That's just excellent. Okay. But damage orb is an extremely important aspect of Moira's kit early in fights, in between fights. It's spamming those for ult charge because it's guaranteed ult charge, because you don't really need healing between fights and you don't need a lot of healing early in fights. So at least it depends on the situation, but you can use it to get that extra little bit of 200% ult, or 200 ult charge, which is like, I think at full damage orb is like 8 or 9% ult charge, I think, not including passive. So if you're able to get like a couple of damage orbs early on, you generally beat the Moira to Cole. Okay, we keep going. Do you have any questions, chat? AMA, my name is Spilo. Hydrate. Okay, y'all are killing me. You did this earlier, and I unironically ignored it. I think it was stupid Connor. You know, it's not a surprise that the person that I ignore is Connor. Where the flip is my water bottle? Chat, I don't know where my water bottle is. I don't know where my water bottle is. Okay, never mind. Found it. I filled it up. I filled it up, and I put it on the counter. Just left it. What the heck? Chill out. Rymel, Aeonic Musi, Indra, Enchanto, and Ferrer 4098. Thank you so much for the gifted subs going wrong. Holy moly. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Your mom's gonna be really mad. No more lunch money for you. Thank you so much, mate. How can you submit a VOD for review? Exclamation mark coaching. Can I land a water bottle flip? Does this look like a water bottle? This thing is made of like titanium. Don't make fun of the colors, okay? I just grabbed it, okay? I don't even know what. This thing would like, I could land a water bottle flip and it would like break the floor. I was gone for a bit. Did you do a hammer time already? Yeah, I started off with a hammer time of an RJ video. But yeah, thanks for the gifted subs, mate. You're literally not ignoring you? I am now. The thing looks diseased. It's not. It's like pastel. See? Hi all. My name is Spilo. Most of you guys hydrate with water bottles of anybody's choice. Random things. But here at Spilo, or Stormcrow Productions, we prefer to hydrate with pastel colors. Bringing out the inner Monet in all of us. Ah, crisp. I feel hydrated and inspired. Here at Spilo, shut up. Is Stormgrow an MTG reference? What's MTG? What is MTG? MTG? Magic the Gathering? No, it is not. Your chat is really wholesome. Your mom is really wholesome. I unironically have my pinky up without even thinking about it. I do that all the time. I don't know when I started doing that. Connor, what are you doing? Is Connor baiting you? Okay, Connor. You're bringing out the best in my chat and it's kind of nauseating me. Corton. Titanium is weaker than steel in pretty much all aspects. It's a lot lighter though. It has much better strength by weight, so that's why. Stop. Listen. Stop being nice. Stop being smart. This is not the place to do it. Right? I swear, this is the... Guys... Alright, we're gonna just move to the next spot. I'm not reading the conversation. I'm not reading it. I don't care. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. Oh, chat, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. Jet fuel can't melt. Oh gosh. It's not happening. Okay, so chat, here's what we got. Here's what we got. Check this out. We have got a Masters Flanker VOD review. Let's do hit scan. We'll just call it hit scan. Because we're doing Sombra and Tracer. Is this a scrim? Yeah, it's a scrim. Even better. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that UI at the bottom left, guys. Stop. Please. 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 Like, the stats overlay is not something on my end, it's something on the replays end. So if you there's specific scrim, there's a specific workshop codes for scrimmages that track damage taken, damage done, healing done, all that stuff. To be perfectly honest, it's yeah, right here. Damage dealt, damage taken, final blows, stats, heals dealt, ults used. There you go. No, I don't really use it much, but if you find that interesting, there you go. Yeah, flanker is probably more appropriate, but I can't be bothered. All right, screw you guys. I'm finishing the bottle. I'm gonna feel like crap afterwards. There you go, 32 ounces. I can't do the fast drinking thing. Like I'm too scared. Posture check. Now you throw a posture check at me. Screw you, man. Hydro homies apparently, yeah. Could use that though. My throat's all dry. Not dry, but like it's a little dry. So I do a lot of like singing and stuff, and I'm like doing like fry shouts training and like fry scream training and all sorts of stuff, and doing like vocal distortion. You would not believe the range, the stuff I had to do last night. Okay. Oh my gosh! Thank you. Wake of Exodus, tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Bunker's knee. Bunker's knees. I cut you off. Thank you so much. Have I downed a beer before? No. Okay. You sing? Yes. A little bit. A little bit. Not professionally. Okay. One day I might show you guys a clip of something, but it's an acquired taste. I have an okay singing voice, but I'm much better at very like distorted singing, if that makes sense. Very, very high registers, that sort of thing. It's not at all like, yeah, it's different. Okay, so scrim. So let's take a little second to talk about the matchup here. So basically you're playing double bubble, which means that as your Monkey Zarya initiate, you open up an angle on Tracer, contest the angle. You contest the angle as Genji, put pressure on the backline. Now, the difference, you guys are running essentially a mirror. The difference between Sombra and Tracer is more than just, oh, one has hack, one has EMP, you know, one has more damage. The difference is that as Tracer, you can do a much better job bullying out angles than Sombra can in shorter ranges. So Sombra generally has more long range pressure than a Tracer if she can stand AFK unts without being harassed. So as a Tracer, you are going to be playing a lot more aggressively on flanks and looking to synchronize your pressure with your tank line. Synchronize your pressure with your tank line. You're better at singing badly. Got it? I swear. But yeah. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So your job essentially is to like pay attention to when your Winston is going in, and leverage your pressure aggressively. So like the issue here, well, it's not exactly an issue. Let me actually listen to what's going on here. Okay. It's not as much of an issue, but the timing here is very slight. You guys see this? You ran into the Sombra by accident, but you have to be very cautious. You don't want to get your recall force before your team goes in, and the timing is like almost perfect. So this ends up working out very nicely, but just be very careful.
Just in time.
Yeah, so this is important. What's the issue here, chat? What's the mistake here? What's the mistake? What's the mistake here? Right here at this point. Amari Pepper cameo? Ignoring Sombra, exactly. The point being is it's not just ignoring Sombra, it's the fact that you established a really nice angle here. So as Tracer, when you establish a really nice angle, it better be really something really good that makes you leave it. Think of it this way, you're Soldier, you got high ground. You do not drop off of that high ground for any reason unless there's like a Reinhardt that's literally 1 HP beneath you and you can't shoot him, and you drop in like Helix rocket him in the face, right? You're giving up good position to get a pick. This situation here, you have a phenomenal angle on these guys. You can control the map. You can pressure the Sombra out very easily by yourself. You can get health pack, go pressure Ana, you can pressure Zarya, you can pincer, right? And what you do is you go, okay, I'm here, I'm set up, and then you walk into the middle of the enemy team, giving up the good position that you set up to go kill a Brig that ends up getting out anyway. And then even worse, you drop, and now you're completely mispositioned entirely. Using recall and staying in would have been the play, because he could have, used recall and then stayed here and then run away. Sombra can't chase him. She's not good enough at dueling him. Tracer is good, can beat a Sombra in a 1v1. And you can see that here, because you recall, you look at, Zarya's not even looking at you anymore. And you just completely give up your position. Amari cameo? All right, give me a second. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Give me a second. Here's your Amari cameo. All right. Amari. Hi. What are you doing? I'm a little shaky, you have to forgive. There's your Amari cameo. It's her afternoon nap. So you get it, position. I want you to leverage that position. I don't want you to just give it up just to chase a kill that you don't even end up getting it. Because here's what you're thinking, chat. You're thinking, oh, but we all have to focus the same target. And I think to an extent there's a reason for that being okay. But think about it this way. If you focus the Sombra right now, is this Sombra going to get any help? No. If you focus the Zarya right now, let's say you focus the Sombra out, she's not going to get any help. She's going to have to translocate out. Where is she going to translocate out to? She's going to translocate out to... Where is her translocator? So she'll translocate all the way out to here. You can chase and get this kill. Or, even if you don't get this kill, she translocates out, then the Ana has to pocket her. Meanwhile, what's happening? Her Brig is being bum rushed. And her Zarya is being bum rushed. So then you force the Sombra out. You can go kill the Sombra, pressure the Ana, or you can leave them and then you pincer on the Zarya Brig, who, by the way, have no healing from Ana and have no support from their Sombra. Yes, it's absolutely worth. So the goal is that it's more important for you to be at a good position than it is for you to be shooting the same target, because the good position will provide more value than you shooting the same target. Does that make sense? It's better for you to hold a good position than it is for you to be shooting the same target, because indirectly you'll support your target focus more than you did here. Because like, look at what you did here. You were on a good position, you go in, you don't do anything here. You don't contribute any damage. You tickle the Brig slightly. You do 15 damage. What you would have done bullying the Sombra out and then taking the Ana's attention would have been worth way more than 15 damage to the Brig. and would have ironically had a higher chance of resulting in her kill, and that's because you had a good position. Okay, so I know we're taking a long time on the opening fight here, but I want to make sure that's understood. Find an angle, find a position, and leverage it. Leverage it. Shoot. If you have a choice of shooting Sombra or Brig, and they're both very easily accessible without giving it position, then obviously shoot the Brig if that's what your team is shooting. Right? But don't give up your positioning here. But this fight is already lost. Get out. Yeah, get out. Get out. Not good. That was very risky. You need to spawn camp. 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 You need to at least threaten the spawn camp, right? Because the threat of the spawn camp is value alone, because you make the Genji go back, you make the Ana turn around, etc., right? You need to spawn camp. You don't actually get the kill for the spawn camp. Oh, bless. Okay, just survive. That last blink was a feed. You just gave away your positioning, and now you're entering this duel with 0 blinks. This blink honestly was kind of a feed as well, but sure. I imagine it's because you're thinking, oh, my team's going in. I would rather you just be a little late to the party than for you to use that blink like that. This is good though. Like again, like all you need to do here is just exist. All you need to do here is just exist. You were looking for Translocator. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Oof, a little bit clunky there. Good job. Do you see how much work you did there? Look at what happens. Like you guys get a little bit of a lucky boop, but like Brig is completely out of the fight early on because she's looking for you in spawn. Like she's taking forever chasing you around, right? You pull Brig's attention this way, so she's not able to proc Inspire. She's not able to boop your monkey. She misses her whip shot. And now she's not even supporting her monkey. She's not supporting her Sombra. She's not supporting her Genji. She still has not proc Inspire. And now she's split. And all this means is that she wastes her bat. Like this is just good. It's just good. It's good tracer play. Fundamentally, that was good. Now, my problem with this is you've got a couple options here. You're frontlining right now. Your options here are A, you can go and duel the Ana, which obviously is a little risky, but she doesn't have Sleep Dart anymore. Like you go and duel Ana, maybe you find Translocator. Like your job here would not to be to kill Ana, it would just to be to bait sleep, bait nade, to force either sleep or nade or both, right? And then you can just leverage this angle right here, okay? Probably your best option. The other option is to drop the point and set up an angle here and pressure monkey out, right? And you could go like honestly like here even and make them drop to contest you. Set up your angle here. This is the worst thing that you could do. The worst thing you could do, because right now again you're frontlining. You see this? Your value here is so very low because all of your threats are directly in front of you, can easily and directly contest you, etc. So you're gonna blink in, but like, what have you really done? You capping point is fine, but that wasn't it. So we're seeing some positional issues with you. You're feeling like you have to force kills. Like she just can't duel you. So this is fine. Your team is going to take high ground here, at least some of them, and you're going to pincer from this point as well. So this is good. And what you could do from here is you can control this side of the map. There's Sombra can't come out and like come out of stealth anywhere on this side of the map because you're going to force her out. This monkey can't flank on this side of the map without you scouting him and you pressuring him out. Remember, your job as tracer here isn't necessarily to force. Oh no, I'm sorry. I gotta update the VOD. Your job as tracer here isn't necessarily to force dives in the backline, but to protect your position, to protect the map, right? Take an angle and just put pressure from the angle. And do so at the same time as your team. Like the Sombra just can't, like she just can't do it. like she just can't take this position. She's not farming EMP. She's not in a good angle to set up on your team. And if she and it's not obviously she's invisible, so she can just walk right past you. But if she comes out of stealth here, you're gonna prevent her. If she comes out of stealth here, you're gonna come at her. If she comes out of stealth here, you're gonna be right at her. So you're able to like basically mean that this Sombra cannot pressure your team from this angle, or this angle. She's and look at her. Look at this. She's all the way back in her backline, and now they're going in with Nanoblade. That's terrible, terrible for the Sombra. So unfortunate, you guys get away with Nano, like the Nanoblade like just shreds you up. That happens. But my problem here is this right here. So I don't think you necessarily need to be going through this way. I think you realize that the enemy team is pressing W, so now your angle needs to be directly to them. Let me put it this way. It's like, so for in fighting, here's the thing in fighting. There are combinations in striking that are responsive of what you expect the enemy for the enemy fighter to do. For example, if I'm doing a kick, I almost always let me turn it here so I can actually see myself. If I'm doing a kick, I almost never open with a kick. I'm always going to open with a strike, because what that's going to do is I anticipate my enemy to cover or to give a little bit of space, just a little bit, right? So I strike, there's cover, gives a little space, and that little bit of distance allows me to get a kick safely, because kicks take a little more time, right? They have a little bit more range. It's very dangerous to kick somebody up close. It's very dangerous, right? So you strike with the anticipation of the kick. Another thing that you might do is you might have a combination where you throw a couple strikes and then you take a step with your rear hand and throw an elbow. Or you'll do a couple strikes and you can throw a lead hook as you step in, right? But you would open with this because you need something to make them back up. Now, you look at the situation here, you hear Nanoblade. What do you as Tracer anticipate out of the enemy team? You anticipate them to press W. You anticipate them to take space. So in that instance, here comes the Nanoblade. Where do you think your angle needs to be? Do you think they will be here any longer? That's where they were, but you know that they're taking space. So now you no longer, you don't go where they were, you go where they are. So you need to cut this short and pressure right here. Or pressure right here. Either one of these would have been fine. So that's the important thing, is your positioning needs to make, and it's the same thing too. Think about it this way, chat. What if we were the one nanoblading? If we were the one nanoblading, how would you angle? How would you position? How would you engage as Tracer? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I just want you guys to think about it. If we were the one nanoblading, you would have to deepen with the anticipation that the enemy team is going to be pressing S, right? So you would not, if we were nanoblading, you wouldn't go like this, because then they're just going to be tunneled on here. You would instead wrap around this way. And if you were, for example, if you were on high ground and you heard your friendly nanoblade, you wouldn't angle like this and blink through. If you heard nanoblade and you were up here, you would blink through this way and drop behind this way, because you're anticipating them to S key out. So we need to work on our positioning, because our game sense and decision making are falling behind and putting us in situations where we're not doing a lot. Was it how many? I don't know how many points the 10th dance move was. How many points is it? Yeah, it's 10,000 points. It is 10,000 points. I missed the joke. I missed the joke. Poggers. What's the issue? Don't dot me. Don't ellipses me or whatever the thing is called. What's the issue here, chat? So first off, obviously every fight you lose against the Sombra becomes harder and harder to control the map, because she starts to control more and more mini health packs, so that becomes a problem. Like if this Sombra was smart, okay, yeah, she's hacked Mega. That's really problematic for us. So you're gonna have to be a little bit more patient and maybe play a little more in your Briggs LOS. But what's the issue with this ellipses? Okay. There's no follow-up. Exactly. It's not just the no follow-up, because you anticipate this to force attention, right? Force his shield. Genji looks at you on like this is good. Even if you miss your pulse, this is good, right? But the problem is that your team isn't in a position to push. You have to understand, chat. I don't care if it's Pulse Bomb or Nanoblade. It has to be done in synchronization with your team whenever you possibly can. If you have nobody in your team doing anything, or nobody in the enemy team doing anything, then there's going to be counterplay. You're going to get bashed. This Brig is going to shield it. You're going to get slept. You're going to get spammed out. Any value that you got from making them turn your head is now gone. So you have to think about it this way. Not only is it this valuable that your team is missing out on because you did it too early, it's also easier to stick people who aren't thinking about you. If your monkey jumps in this way and their Brig is packing the Zarya, she's not thinking about blocking a pulse bomb. She's thinking about packing a Zarya. So it's more likely that you're able to stick the pulse. So simultaneously, you punish them for not looking at you, but even if they do look at you, they get punished because they're looking at you while your team is doing something. Synergy is timing. It's always timing. Timing. This timing is bad. And honestly, even just the fact that you're poking here is a feed. This is a mistake. It works because your team just aggressively rushes in with Nanoblade, but you get nothing. And really look at your Nanoblade. Your Nanoblade is atrocious. Like, where's my monkey help? Where's my bubble? There's the bubble, but where's my monkey help? Why is my Zarya not aggressively pushing space? Why do I have people on cart? So yeah, he dashes into the thing, but this is a team issue. This is really bad. Your Zarya should be aggressively pushing high ground right now from stairs. You should have peeked with bubble right from here and then just entered the Zarya because they're not getting any healing now. And your monkey should have gone in here and you should have been looking for your pulse now, right? Hey, I like a yes. I'm glad it was helpful. So this is a poor team error, but you individually definitely contributed. Just stay here. Stay right here. You have a good angle, good cover. Stay here. But very, very poor macro play from your team and very poor play from you as well. Until the end, when you actually established a decent angle and put out pressure from it, it was very poor. Again, be very careful. Look at your team. No, stop. Gosh darn it. Like, look at this opportunity that you have here. And look at this is just delightful. Tracers in, tracers out, monkeys in, and monkeys out. Imagine if those had been timed together. Imagine. Even if that doesn't get a kill, it would have forced cooldowns, would have bought you some space, would have allowed you guys to push cart for free. Like maybe you get the Sombra to force Translocator or something. But where are you? You went in without your tanks, then your tanks go in after you. You can't do this. Yes, timing. This is a scrim. There's no excuse for this. And even if this is ranked, you just have to use your eyeballs. Even if your monkey is a complete beta and just sits on cart, when they contest your monkey on cart, that's when you do this crap. You know what I'm saying? When the enemy team does something or your team does something, that's your cue. Like even this right now, be very careful. Like it's okay to poke a little bit, but you do not get your cooldowns forced. And if you think about it too, do you really want to be here when the action starts? Probably not. You might want to be up here. This is a little bit too deep in the enemy team and you can't stage there now. So I would probably say you would want to be, again, like safeguarding this, pressure this, find Sombra Translocator, keep them looking and busy this way, force resources this way, get off of MAME. Now they're rallying. Okay? But your positioning was bad. You see this? Imagine how much more effective this would have been from this way. You would have gone in, blinked here, and you could have like blinked out and you would have been on this angle here, or you could have even recalled and you would have had this position here. So I assume you're probably frontlining more for Pulse Grav, but if you can, do not grab, like, if you can, do not grab Pulse from frontline, because it will make it easier for that Zarya to reactively bubble, and it'll make it easier for that Brig, if she doesn't get grabbed, to counter you. You can get slept on entry. There's a lot of reasons why you want to try and avoid going frontline here. You wanted to poke for Grav Pulse? Gotcha. That makes sense then. Is this okay, chat? Positionally? What do you guys think? Yeah, I think it's okay. I think your monkey needs to give more space. I think your monkey needs to avoid. So your monkey's gonna go in there, and I don't like this. He gets naded here. I think he needs to play here and let them out a little bit, and then you guys can pincer. But yeah, this looks okay to me. You're a little indecisive with your target priority. That's the only thing, which is understandable. It is a difficult situation. But like, let me look at how does your Zarya die? Hello, Zarya? Yeah, she just personal bubbles air. She personal bubbles air, and she's playing way too aggressively. And then how does your Genji die? He commits a dash for nothing. Yeah, so your Genji and your Zarya feed. But I think your positioning was okay. That's the first time we've said that in a while, yeah? But like right here, again, this is a situation where like obviously the fight's probably lost here, but you don't need to like be super nitpicky about your target priority here. Go for the Genji because he's 1. Go for the Zarya because she's low. Go for the Tracer because she's shooting you. You've got options here. The Ana just walked out of spawn. Like you're in a position now to where you have some decent cover and you can just literally pick and choose. It's like a buffet. All you can eat. Doesn't matter who you shoot. It's going to be the right choice. Oh, you thought you had recall? You looked like you thought you had recall. It literally looked like you forgot you didn't have recall. Because you had the HP to keep putting pressure. Like, this fight was almost winnable. Oh, yeah, you went for like a blink melee and then you saw bubble. That's what happened. And they're like swimwear. Good positioning there, though, for the most part. And a lot of you guys are probably thinking like, man, this is Master's Tracer. Like, this is like really, really basic, boring stuff. This is because like when we talk about Tracer, I always like, I echo that I always believe Tracer to be like the poster girl for Overwatch in more than one way, right? She's the poster girl because like, oh yeah, Tracer, hero, you know, funny. But also like she is the epitome of positioning and timing. And so with Tracer, there's a lot of advanced little tricks and tips, but she's a very, very basic hero that is very punishing if you don't play her perfectly. So there isn't a lot of advanced, complicated things that we need to go or should go over. I would want you to clear high ground here with a Brig. Your team needs to always clear high ground. So yeah, your Brig is on high ground here. You need to remove the Tracer so that you guys prevent yourselves getting pincered. You need to go clear high ground here. You're gonna establish your own angle, but I prefer you to clear out the enemy team's angle first. And again here, do you see how like, yeah, okay, you're peeking maybe for a little bit of scouting, but be very careful. Once again, your team isn't doing anything yet, so there is no... I mean, this is all we have to say right here. Honest question. How on earth does this Pulse even get close to getting a kill? How? How does this force life? How is there even a slight opportunity that this even works? This is why. This is how. Right? She's busy. She's busy. Right? Yeah, it's telegraphed. Mechanically awful. You did it from a very open location in front of the enemy BAP, right? With Lamp still on the field. But she walks into it. She's not looking at you. This is what I was talking about on end of second point with the, the stick on the Brig. The timing here is perfect. Masters, by the way. What is the general position you want to have as Tracer then? Just, you were always looking for a flank. A flank with cover. A flank with cover where you can pressure squishies or tanks. But you are a gnat. You play like a gnat. A distracting, annoying gnat that will sting you if you do not if you do not swat at it. Again here. Be very careful. Do not get your cooldowns first. So you're giving away the element of surprise, which kind of sucks. That's much better. Much better. Much better. So first off, you can see the problem here. Shooting here only gives away your position and doesn't do any meaningful damage. This BAP can do 1 bullet worth of damage, and he does more than almost an entire clip that you do at this range. So good on you for closing the distance here. And this is what you like to see. Look at this.
60 seconds.
Look at this. Sleep and nade. Shift force. Immortality field. This team is getting no support. No support whatsoever. This is really good positioning. This is really good timing. And you're playing it very disciplined as well. You're not greeding for a kill. Be a little careful there. Very nice. Very nice. They just live here. Just farm. You're not in a position to pressure the squishies. Oh, careful. Oh, recall? Hello? Hello? You just didn't recall. Like you just don't believe in recall, I guess. But that right there is a snapshot of what we want to see. There's nothing mechanically insane about what we did over here, but it was strategic, sound Overwatch, and it provided your team a lot of value. They nanobladed, and so you scuffed it up. Your team scuffed it up, but you did your job, so you should pat yourself in the back. So can sometimes showing yourself put a lot of pressure in the back line? Yeah. But keep in mind, when you were showing yourself wasn't where you needed to put, wasn't really when you needed to put pressure. My internet is conking. Give me a second, chat. I'm gonna turn off the stop recording for a second. So in other words, when you peaked here, you didn't need to put any pressure out at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? There's no real necessity because your team wasn't doing anything. So at this point, all it did was it got you poked a little bit, and it gave away your position. Instead, if you want to show yourself, do so when your team is actually taking space, and then you can kind of be like, blink, ha 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 ha, blink, ha ha, and they're like, ah, right? So still timing, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Nice. Good job. Good job. Good job. This Tracer is so much less scary to your team now. So you can either put pressure on their flanks or you can defend your own. But what I like to do is when I'm retaking space, put pressure on their flanks first and then go pressure backline, right? Because their flanker, your backline's in the worst position, right? You look at this, your backline is unironically in a lot of danger here. Their backline is under no danger. And they're really hard to pressure. So I would clear out the flankers first, and then once you've cleared them out, just even like, hey, I forced a recall, now you can kind of be like more flexible. Like this is fine. Just live here. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. You could even peel monkey if you want. But you see how like you did a lot there without actually having to combine the dive with the Genji Tracer? You peeled off the monkey. Oh, just clean. Like you prevented that Tracer from getting value. You forced recall. You forced monkey out. Very good job. And now it's just cleanup. I mean, don't really care. You're gonna win. Very, very, very clean at the end there. Do you have any questions so far for your Tracer? So what we look at with your Tracer is like your ability to find a flank position, not give away your positioning too early, and then pressure whatever is available. Prioritize squishies or heroes that you can kill because that baits more attention. But honestly, just shoot which, if you don't have a squishy within easy LOS, just shoot what you shoot. Is it something to value to poke out a Tracer or something from a far distance to farm ult quicker? If you're close to pulse and you need to build it for a combo, but I always prefer the positioning over the poke, especially for a hero like Tracer. Like it makes sense maybe more with a McCree, like you take an angle later, you position more passively early, and you position more aggressively later because you could do meaningful poke, but you don't do any meaningful poke. So, or very little meaningful poke. So unless you're just building up like a little 10% more for an ult charge, then prioritize your positioning. Okay. Why does blue team run BAP with this comp? Honestly, no idea. I think BAP is trash. Like BAP in this comp is trash. You can't heal anything because they're all mobile. Lamp isn't going to save you from Nanoblade. You don't have any way of pocketing your DPS, so you don't have armor pack or harmony orb. Unironically, Ana Zen would have been a better tank support setup because then you could have trans Nanoblade and it would have made Nanoblade really hard, and you could have harmonied your flankers. Like you would have been vulnerable to dive, but if you like, especially at like a third point where you have like a really good defensible location, Ana Zen probably would have been better than Ana BAP. But maybe that's just me. I need to get some water. Give me 1 second, chat. Okay, sorry. You guys drained me earlier. This is why when people are like, oh yeah, BAP is such a busted hero. Oh, Brig is such a busted hero. Oh yeah, Zen is such a busted hero. It's like, Lucio is so broken. Like, they're so dependent on comp meta and composition that it's really stupid to say that any of them are busted. Like, right now, I think supports are all very balanced. They're all must picks in different metas. Like, you have to play, you know, I think the only thing that maybe is like, maybe you could say BAP might still be a little strong because we like Ana to be a little more viable when Brawl, but like, yeah. Except Moira. I mean, Moira just sucks. So, okay, so the deal with Sombra is you're very similar to Tracer. You're very similar to Tracer. The difference is, you know how it is with Tracer where you take that angle, you take that positioning, and you apply pressure from it, but you aggressively look for either duels or you aggressively look for picks. In other words, you might be here, you run to a Sombra, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna kill the Sombra. I'm killing the Sombra. Or you're on the back line back there, and you're like, I'm gonna go stick that BAP. I'm gonna one clip that BAP, right? I'm gonna blow up that Ana, right? With Sombra, it's more like, I'm on this angle, and I'm just gonna kind of exist. I'm just gonna kind of exist, and not only am I not gonna look for picks as much, but I'm also going to try and play slightly longer sightlines. So like, let me demonstrate this to you really fast, okay? So you're talking about a hero that has a lot of utility and has better range than Tracer. Tracer has a lot more mobility, so she can move faster and quickly, like, you know, do this and do this. And right, your blinks are dual tools. In other words, they're tools that you use to win duels so that you can beat people, right? But if I'm standing at like 30 meters here, bingo, right? But as soon as I back to 20 meters, right? Even if it's all headshots, 1 clip, 2 clip, 3 clip, right? So this is no good, okay? Like if you're holding a long angle as Tracer, you're not really doing anything at all, right? But you go Sombra,
Everything can be hacked, and everyone.
You go Sombra in the same range. And again, all headshots, of course, so it's a little bit exaggerated, but... And that's not even half of my clip. Right? It's not even half of my clip. So, forget hack. Screw EMP. Your damage at range is much better than Tracer. Much better than Tracer. The pressure that you put out from this angle, whether it's on a BAP or a Monkey or a D.Va, you know, you're jiggle picking here, is so much stronger. And if they ignore you, you build EMP, or as they engage on your team, you know, on main here, you shoot, hack, right? You get the hack, and now that person is dead. Right? If you're up here on a Tracer, you don't like this. Sombra is not meant to rush in and try and 1v1 the BAP on the backline, or to 1v1 the Tracer on the flank. That's why, like, Sombra is the reason why you own, like, Sombra is such a weird hero, because she's like not as strong in a lot of different metas. Like, you think about Sombra Goats. So the reason why she worked well in Goats is because there weren't a lot of ranged threats. There was Zen, and that was basically it. And then what did people start doing? Well, they started picking Hanzo, and then they started Stormbowing, and then they forced the Sombra Translocate out because it hit one body shot with Stormbow, and you're like, oh shoot, if I get a headshot here, I'm dead. So they'd force her out. Same thing with like Kree comps. If you play Sombra into Kree, that you're not scared of flash, you're scared of the damage, because you want to just hold an angle and shoot, but McCree's better at it. He's better ranged than you, right? So Sombra's in this really weird situation where she's a flanker, but she's a flanker with range, right? Kind of like Genji. And so you just kind of put pressure on the angle, put pressure on the angle, put pressure on the angle, put pressure on the angle. If they ignore you, you farm EMP and you punish them. I really like playing Sombra on Ilios well, for example, in just quick play or whatever, because I find that it's a perfect range to where I can play corner and cover and find like my perfect fall off range without having to worry about like snipers and stuff. But the enemy team struggles to close the distance to me. And so heroes like, you know, Reaper and Tracer and Winston and things like that, and Ryan, those guys can't just run it down mid and pick me off. Sombra 76, honestly, like, Sombra is very similar to 76 in how she plays. Very similar. Angles, you survive on the angle and you put pressure. A lot of teams do this number as Sombra. They do this. You guys ever played Sombra Dive like this? They do this. All right, guys. I'm behind their Ana. Let me know when we're going in. 3, 2, 1, and they start to come out of stealth. And then the Brig turns around and bashes at the Sombra, and then the Sombra translocates out, right? She's like, oh shoot, I'm out. And then your monkey's in, and you're running back and getting your health back. That is, so many teams play Sombra Dive like this, and it makes me nauseous. The way to play Sombra Dive is, if you're playing into like snipers, then yeah, you're gonna have to be behind them and poke them out. But most of the reason, in Dive Mirror, most of the way you play Sombra is this. All right, guys, you guys ready to dive? 3, 2, 1, diving. Your monkey dives in first. You pop out, and you're doing this. Oh, they're coming after me, they're coming after me, coming after me, coming after me. Oh. You know, and you do that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with Sombra. Most of the time in the dive mirror. Now, if you're playing into spam, where there's like the threat of one shot, so you gotta kill the squishies fast, then yes. But even against spam, like snipers, you are not the first person to show up. You let your monkey or ball engage first. 3, 2, 1, monkey jumps, and you come out immediately afterwards. Because it's a lot harder for them to get rid of your monkey than it is for them to get rid of you. Do you counter Sombra with CC? You counter Sombra with CC, or you counter Sombra with range? CC means that any mistake that she makes with positioning is punished. Remember how we talked about how Monkey can be countered by Reaper, or Monkey can be countered by Tracer? One prevents him from staging, the other prevents him from diving, right? With CC, if the Sombra screws up with her positioning and gets a little too aggressive, she gets CC and she dies. The other way to counter Sombra is to poke her out. She comes out of stealth, your McCree shoots her once or twice, and then all of a sudden she's gone. Right? She can't stay. Tracer can stay. Tracer can juke. Tracer can use cover. Tracer can recall. Sombra can't stay. Sombra's out. Okay, so that was a long intro to Sombra play. But I want to make sure that's important.
Traveling to Numbani. Defend objective A.
That's why Torb is so good against Sombra. Right, exactly. It's not, it's the shots against Sombra, but it's also the turret. The turret is obnoxious. If you decloak at the wrong time, turret turns on you and you just have to leave. You have to leave. You can't break it fast enough. Turret is rough as Sombra because it's constantly guarding a sightline that you want to decloak on. Right. So in a lot of ways, McCree shot is more of a counter. Posh check, thank you. Is more of a counter to Sombra than the actual shot, than the actual like flashbang itself. 55 damage per second is OP if you're talking about a hero like Sombra. So I think the general way to play Sombra here, like the bread and butter way, is that like you have your translocator here. Most people will go for farm and then they translocate here, they hack this health pack and they chill out. And then what you would do is you would probably say, okay, I'm gonna play right here. My monkey lets them out. My Genji can like poke here, right? And then I'm poking from here, right? And a long range off angle. You can also poke from here, but I generally prefer Sombra's on the off angle more than the Genji. Genji can utilize his mobility more. I think it's more important for you to be here. Okay, so let's see what you do. Okay. That should not happen. Really nice tracking. This mini is fine. I don't think this mini is the most important though. This translocator is really bad, and right now you need to be feeding your Ana ult charge. So this is 2 mistakes in one. Okay. One, your translocator is like hot trash. You just came here as Tracer. You remember this? You just came here as Tracer on the attack. You just showed me that Tracers like to use this flank. Why are you throwing your translocator here? At the very least, throw it back here where it can easily be supported. There's also an argument for throwing it down here. There's an argument for throwing it... Man, I don't even know. Like, you could throw it back here. Like, right here. It's not a bad spot. You can throw it back here. There's a lot of spots. Connor is GG in chat. He's the guy to ask for better Sombra translocator spots. He'll have the micro down for you. But also, it's not just a translocator positioning. Okay, where the Ana is by pillar. So like right here. Okay. So it's not just the positioning of the translocator that's a problem. It's also the fact that you're taking health packs right now. What is your Ana doing right now? What is your Brig doing right now? You just killed their Ana. They're not doing anything. Give them the ult charge. It's, you know, like it's 3 or 4 or 5% ult charge. You know? It's a bad translocator positioning. I mean, there you go. Okay. Again, at first I thought it was like, oh, it's just because you're gonna go back into farm, so you're being sloppy. But no, you do it again, and you take the health pack again. So again, the 2 mistakes in one, it's a double trouble. You do it twice, you do 2 mistakes in one, and then you do it again. Do you think the Mega Under is more important than the Mega Down main? What do you think, Connor? I think the Mega Under, honestly. Or the Mega on main. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the Mega main. Because monkeys are going to use this a lot. I think this Mega is more important. Okay, but yes, problematic translocator positioning here. Don't re-enter stealth. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, here we go. We knew it. We knew it was happening. So... I'm just gonna let this play. I'm just gonna let this play. Good use of cover. Cover is your best friend against like things like Sleep Dart. Again, translocator. Nice hacking, tracking. Your tracking is really good in Sombra. Okay, now I want you to reimagine this fight really quick. Because... Are you forcing resources on Ana? Yes. Yes, right? But I want you to picture this. You come out of stealth. Their Brig has 1 or 2 functioning brain cells and armor packs their Ana, throws a whip shot at you and starts to run at you swinging. You have to translocate out almost instantly. Almost instantly. And then you're out of the fight. And there's no chance of you killing Ana. There's no chance of you killing Brig. You don't force any cooldowns outside of armor pack and maybe whip shot, and you've burned every cooldown in your book. And you're mispositioned out of the fight in need of healing and not doing any damage. Now I want you to compare that with this. You're playing a longer sightline. You're not looking to stage on backline until they come into you. And instead, you're going to stand right here and you're going to hold mouse 1 on monkey. Right from this angle. You're just going to hold mouse 1 on monkey. How much pressure are you putting out right here? If you hold mouse 1 on monkey, how much pressure are you putting out right now? If you hack monkey, how much pressure are you putting out right now? But he just can't jump. If you hack Zarya or shoot Zarya or hack Brig right now, what are they going to do? Now, right now you decloak and now you shoot on because now she's in your space. But you have a much stronger sightline. I want you to be looking for longer sightlines and forcing fewer dives onto enemy backline. Longer sightlines, and why is that? What is the enemy team running? What is the enemy team running? Very important here. What is the range of the enemy composition? Describe their range to me. I see a couple questions in chat. I'll answer them in just a second. Zarya, yeah, they're running short range dive. Does this comp have any range at all? No. You outrange every single hero on this comp, so you need to abuse that. So let me put it this way. Your angle as Sombra is dependent on the enemy composition. Against short range, you play like a sniper. On an angle. Against very spam heavy comps, then your angle is less frontliney, right? Because if a Hanzo wall climbs up here, that's not, you don't want to just sit here and hold mouse 1 here, right? That's when you'd rotate behind. You force the squishier glass cannon or long range heroes to turn around. That's where Sombra needs to angle. But the funny thing is, young Rokog or Polar, right, is against those compositions, against the sniper heavy compositions, what would you be playing Sombra into those? In other words, if this team was opening out on like a Rissa Sig, Bat Brig, Ashe, Mei, would you even be playing Sombra into that? No. What hero would you be playing? Probably Tracer, because she's more self-sufficient and her damage threat is better. You don't need Sombra's range because you know you're going to lose the range war anyway, so you don't play that game. You play the duel game. Exactly. So your contribution here, you're tracking really good, but you're forcing dives onto their backline. I'm not talking about spawn camping on it. That's just farming ult charge and you know, a free kill, you take it. But when you actually are fighting, I don't want you forcing backline without help. You see what I'm saying? You are AFKing on an angle, holding mouse 1 until they clear you out. You force him to clear, you force that monkey to jump you. If he jumps you, great, good cooldown trade. If they ignore you and you just farm them and then their backline walks in and your monkey goes in, then you go in as well. Quick question in chat. The tip my coach gave me about translocated placement is to place my locator depending on how I expect the flow of the team fight to be like. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Savvy drone got auto-modded. Get wrecked. Alrighty. So you're right here. This is it. This is it right here. Now you have your choice. Like, they didn't even clear high ground. You could hack Brig, you could hack Genji, you could shoot Zarya. Zarya's used bubbles, I think, so you wouldn't hack her. Yeah, so you wouldn't hack a Zarya, but you could shoot Monkey across the map. Because again, like, your damage against Monkey here at this range is actually stupid good. Like, it is really good. Like, you were almost Soldier 76 level of damage at this range. This Monkey dies. And you went for the Ana? I mean, that's okay. She's in the middle of a fight. She might die here. But what I'm saying is that you're flexible with your target selection here. Just live. Yeah. Sombra's damage has been buffed. What, twice? Twice since release? Her spread, I think, and her range. I don't remember it twice. Okay, now this is the moment of truth right now. Now we're gonna see, like, because right now you're a mediocre Sombra. Your translocator placement, not good. Your positioning, not terrible, but not great, right? Your tracking has been very good. This is where you make a break right here.
Apagando las luces.
Yeah, you beef it. The best tip I have for Sombras with EMP is simultaneously don't wait. Let's say don't be greedy, but have patience. What do I mean by that? I want you to think. So, anybody in chat, don't be greedy with your EMP, but have patience. In what ways should you not be greedy, and what ways should you have patience? Think about it. Yeah, exactly. So you're not don't look for big EMPs. Look for whatever you can get. 2 people, great. 3 people, even better. Solo EMPs, usually not worth, very, very rarely, but at least 2 or 3, totally fine. Just make sure that those 2 and 3 people are accessible to your team. Right now, these guys are too close to cover, and your team can't follow up through the choke. You see this? So the problem isn't that, oh, I only EMP'd Winston Zarya. That's fine. Sometimes that's totally fine. I'm totally cool with that. The problem is how close this Winston Zarya are near to cover. And obviously you catch Zarya personal bubble as well, so she doesn't even drop the HP. That's the problem here. Because if you think about it, you don't need to rush EMP here, because what is the enemy team doing right now? Are they doing anything dangerous or lethal at all? Are they really contesting your space? Not really. This isn't doing anything. Like, you guys are going to bubble trade right here, and nothing's going to happen. The enemy team is not going to do anything. Your team is at no risk whatsoever. Your monkey's at no risk. Nobody's at any risk whatsoever. Good EMPs win fights, not hit 6 people. Exactly. I'm glad you seem to have the right mindset with Sombra, at least in that regard. But that's really unfortunate. And now your Translocator's forced. Wait, what? When did you Translocate over there? Oh, I forgot you threw it over there. Yeah, this is not great. This is not great. It's too open, too easy to break, too easy for them to follow up after you Translocate out. So I would, Connor, what do you think? Would you prefer? I feel like Translocator down here would be better. If you're gonna position it that aggressively, position it down there, or as you said, over here. I don't know what Connor thinks. I think it's really ugly. I think you're really ugly. On low ground? Okay. You think it's really ugly on low ground? Okay. Yeah, your supports have a hard time seeing you. That's true. Weird Translocate. I don't know why you did that. Nice hack. Easy kill. Good Translocator. And now... Oh, man, you just got deleted. What the heck? I was about to compliment you. I was like, hey, you're fine. You should be fine now. Oh, your Brig drops. Oh, your Brig drops. Your Brig drops way too early. Your Brig kind of feeds there. If your Brig had just given up like a little more time, you would have caught more rally armor and you could have pressured a lot more here. This fight would have been winnable. They waste rally though, so that's okay. Okay. So your mindset with Sombra is a little wrong. You need to play like long into your angle needs to depend on the enemy composition. An enemy composition that doesn't have spam you don't need to take angles on the backline. Instead, you take long sight lines, and like Tracer, you control the map. You don't seek duels with Tracer like Tracer with Sombra, but you just control the map, and that and the EMP thing. That actually the Translocator as well. There's a lot of little things you got to work on here. Yeah. Thank you, Connor. By the way, chat, Jew.gg is EasyBot, the guy I worked with with Sheer Gold, the tied for the most intelligent coach in the Overwatch Western scene, not in Overwatch League, barring none. In contenders, tier 3, stream, it doesn't matter. Guys, a big brain. You woke up at 2 a.m., so I'm kind of tired. I'm glad you're putting on a good show for everybody. You can kind of see it here. Do you kind of see your mental? You see, look at your mental. Look at your mental. So first off, where's your Translocator? I'm botting out here. Probably a little defensive, but fair enough. You probably could have gotten away with a Translocator like right here. Like, it's very unlikely that this Tracer looks for it there, and your Translocator is very far. So you have to find the balance of like having it safe, but also not taking you a million years out of the fight. So that Translocator is too defensive. And look at what you're doing here. What's the issue here? What's the game plan? What's the game plan, Polar? What are you guys fight planning? You're fight planning a Nanoblade, I assume. Yeah? Or a Grav, right? A hard dive backline. I mean, you're trying to take an angle. You're trying to take an angle. Right. So, when you're nanoblading, is it acceptable for you to go for backline? If is acceptable. Okay, by the way, I'm sorry, Polar, can you get in voice? Can you jump on a voice call? If not, that's fine. Okay, is that a yes or no? If it's no, it's okay. You're in Hangout? Okay, let's do it. Yo. Whoops. Yo, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me drag you to coaching, give me a sec. I don't trust you guys not to jump in there. Right. So I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna try and screen share at the same time. So you won't have to like deal with stream delay. Alright, can you see this?
Yep.
Sick. Okay. So your team is calling Nanoblade, yeah?
Yeah.
So you want to position backline, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, because your long sightline is fine, but if your team is going to go in hyper aggressive, you can get away with going backline and you're not going to get cleared, because that was the main issue with going backline. It wasn't just that, oh, you don't have a good angle. You're on an angle on backline. Obviously, that's an angle in of itself. The problem is that it's how easy it is for them to clear you out on the shorter sightline. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas if you play a longer sightline, like let's just say you can magically get here, and you're not your team. If your team doesn't go aggressive here, you can get packed here. You can spam out the monkey, and it takes them a lot longer to poke you out. Like the Genji would have to commit dash, the Winston would have to commit jump for them to get rid of you. So if you're going backline here, what's the issue?
Pathing, I have to like.
Your pathing is trash. Yeah, you're trying to walk through enemies.
Yeah.
Just go this way. Just go this way, and then you can hack Brig, you can hack Ana, you know, whatever. Once you actually go in, your pathing sucks, and then you're getting spike checked on complete accident. You adjust your translocator position at the last second. Were you looking to hack their nanoblade? Is that something you're looking for?
Totally. No. I think I was looking to hack it, but that was just complete accident. I didn't get found on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a fine.
But if I go into backline, I know I'm not supposed to look to hack to engage. I'm supposed to hack like after we dive, kind of.
Yeah.
But if we are nanoblading, would it be good for me to try and look for the hack on the Brig, or
what do you think?
Not worth it?
What do you think?
I guess we have bubbles. So yeah, and even if we didn't, it's probably just still not worth it.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal either way. I mean, you can think of it as like, hey, maybe I make that Brig use Bash or use Nade or whatever. Like, sure, go for it. But it's not gonna be a big deal either way. Probably not worth it, but it's not the end of the world. Like the fact that you're thinking about that is like that's good enough for me. This is lucky. Like this is there's Zarya.
This is funny.
Yeah, there's Zarya just muffs it. So poor guy. My favorite is he turns around and threateningly chops his blade at you at the air. I love this so much. Like, watch. Yeah, I'll be back. You just wait. Yeah, see? Yeah, look at that. That could have been you. That's just excellent. Great hack. It really annoys me, separate note here, that you at the last second throw your translocator over here. Like that just triggers me to no end. You've simultaneously placed it too defensive and then too aggressive like 2 seconds later. It's like, are you kidding me? Oh gosh. This is good. Clear out the monkey first. Don't go into their backline. Don't let that monkey trade. Nice. And think about this like this way. If you already have EMP or you're gonna have it EMP, which I mean pretty much gonna have it, you hacking the health packs, what does that do to their tracer?
It makes it so that she can't flank as much.
Right. She has to play like she has to play beta tracer basically because she can't like go solo contest flank exactly because she takes any damage, she instantly recalls, or she has to go back and peek Brig. So yeah, that was good. I'm gonna farm a little here, I assume.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right, get another health pack if you can. Or you might just be setting up again. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's just setting up for EMP, fine. But then you walk directly into these guys.
Yeah, I wanted to EMP and then land on high ground so I can still pressure the fight, but I ended up just walking into the Zarya for no reason.
Yeah. And the thing is as well is you have to think about like how and when you EMP as well. Is there any reason for you guys to rush this EMP right now, or for you to like aggressively EMP right now?
Probably not, no.
No. Do you have the position? Nanoblade has been used. it's really on the enemy team to make a play for them to do something aggressively, in which case you can just counter EMP and they're done. Or they can not do something and just push cart, and then they just walk into your team and you can just EMP them that way, right? So they either do something really aggressive or silly and you can counter EMP that, or they don't do anything silly and you guys just chill and, you know, smoke cigarettes and, you know, eat Cheetos, and then you just EMP them once they just walk out in the open here. So you're kind of forced, like, your pathing is trash, but it's not just the pathing and the translocator. It feels like your whole mental is like you're rushing things right now. Like even right now, I'm okay. I'm honestly okay with this. Like this is good. It's a little telegraphed because you're pressing W before you EMP. But do you see, like, do you see what you do here? They go in, and now look what you got. Uno, dos, tres, and you catch Brig too. Like, these guys are screwed. Unless they, like, there's no way they should win this fight. They should all instantly die. And I know you're thinking like, oh, we didn't kill them instantly, so it was a bad EMP. But look at this here. They grabbed. They got nothing on a grav, right?
Yeah.
But what else do you notice? Look at their positioning and look at your team's positioning.
Yeah, we maintained the high ground.
You maintained high ground. You prevented them from actually contesting high ground. And they nanoed. So they nano, grav, and what has happened for them? Like Jack. Nothing has happened. They have done nothing. They have made no progress whatsoever. Monkey jumps in without bubble and instantly hack, and he's dead. You just play to protect your high ground. You just play to protect your position, and they just can't win. They literally just cannot win. That's the easiest way to looking at it. Good, nice. You can go for another farm cycle here. Just do it quickly. Quick. Like right now, you need to be going, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to set up in time. Like, go. Probably closer to the corner if possible. Fine. Get another 15%. You take it. Okay. I'm not gonna pick a new translocator placement anymore. Probably the best place for you to put it would be probably like, you know, here.
Hidden cover, yeah.
Yeah. Or like you could throw it here. I'm a little scared of Tracer here, but I think for Tracer to get to you would be a little tricky. So, yeah. This is no good. Well, let me look at this again. Yeah, just don't stick your face in here, right? Just be very careful about sticking your face in here. Oh, is this another Nanoblade call?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, this is probably okay that you're playing this a little bit more aggressively, but again, like, were you just looking to contest this high ground here? Like, what was your game plan?
It was by accident. I was probably just, again, pathing screwed up there, but I was probably trying to take that high ground.
Yep.
I shouldn't force it.
Yep. And if you're gonna do it, just time it a little bit later, like as your Nanoblade goes up. Because I'd hate to have your translocator forced. Right, we hate this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this sucks. This sucks. Like, there's so much EMP charge on the field here. You know, like, what if your Dragon Blade gets hacked, you know? And then, like, the follow-up that you guys needed from Sombra just isn't there, so. Alright, go farm. And you don't have to be, yeah, so, like, this is fine. You don't have to be super picky about your farm locations if you're just like, okay, I just gotta get some farm out. Obviously, respect Sleep Dart, but just go. Like, your tracking is, like, there you go. You didn't need an elite backline angle there. You're just building EMP. Alright, so... That's so greedy. I don't know how you got away with that. Just translocate out. Like, honestly, I would just translocate out. You know what I'm saying? Why would I do that?
Because I have EMP. And
well, not just EMP.
Ground.
Well, not just EMP. Not, okay. Where's the fight happening?
Probably gonna be on the high ground or corner. Yeah.
Here. We don't care about this. We don't care about this. You somehow got 2 kills here, you and your Genji, whatever. But your backline's here. This is where the fight happens, not over here. So don't even bother shooting the monkey. It's not like, oh, I already have EMP. I don't need... No. Don't even be fighting here. You're gone. Wait for them to go into your space.
Thank you.
Like, you're just wasting time here, ultimately, and risking, you know, something unlucky happening. And maybe you bought some time for your Genji. I don't know. Please. Yeah, see, this is just trash. This is just trash. What's this here? Explain this to me.
Okay, well, my thought process was that they have Nanoblade. So I think I kind of, when I was looking at this, like, yesterday, I was kind of thinking, like, I was overthinking myself here, trying to hack the the Ana for so they couldn't Nano Blade.
Mm-hmm.
But also I'm just like you know, useless right now. Like I'm not really doing anything. I'm not. This
Yeah.
Ana's not really too scared of me or anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm not forcing anything out.
Connor, what do you think? Like, what do you think? Do you think this is worth? Because I understand your logic here. Do you think EMPing Nanoblade is consistent enough here? Could you EMP Nanoblade and maybe catch Monkey too? I feel like the play here is to honestly just try and EMP the Nanoblade. I think, because I think you can catch the Nanoblade without an issue, and he drops like a rock. I don't think he'd get there in time. Yeah, he's saying it's pretty consistent, and I agree as well. And you'll catch more than in the Monkey. And the key thing that you were saying as well is that like when you do the EMP, you're still in a good position to do stuff besides EMP, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you can go like, okay, we EMP this. You know, it's a long sightline. Genji can't just int on us, and so you can just maintain. Now, if this is like a tighter sightline where Genji could just like zoom and you can't guarantee it, maybe not as consistent. Yeah, there you go. So translocator issues, a little problematic with there. Okay. But I respect the thought process, you know? Like, that's good. You'll figure stuff out thinking like that. I mean, please. Please. Just like, and just right there. Or like, you know, just like even behind I don't even know if can you put it in here? I don't know, but like, please, I'm begging you. This Tracer should be like having a field day.
So I think I think I'll bring here.
Yeah. No bueno, you know, no bueno. Like, well, okay, walk me through this. Walk me through this. This is a fat EMP. It's 4 people. It's not terrible. But what's the issue here? Like, minor issue, but it's worth bringing up.
Alright, Zarya's on a position.
Yeah, like it's not just your Zarya. Like
backline.
You've got no nade. You've got no armor pack. Your monkey's not ready. Is your monkey even? Can your monkey even jump yet? Okay, he can, but he's gonna follow up, right? Which we hate. We hate this, and you can already see the enemy positioning and why it's bad. Like this Tracer's probably dead, but like look, do you see how easy? Like how much time they had to kite? Like let's just count the seconds. So like here, EMP, essentially now, right? Now they have time to kite. Bing, but they've had a full 1.5 seconds to kite out, and you hate that. You want a clean team fight one off of that. It might take 30 seconds to clean them up, but like one pick and that's it. Like that's terrible for old economy. It's terrible for time because that should have been like you guys should just now be cleaning up the fight, and they should not even be respawned yet, right? So then they guaranteed only get last fight. They don't even get to set up properly. But also old eco, like your brig should be like 60% in rally. Your Genji should definitely have blade. You should have like another 30-40%, maybe more on your EMP. Your Winston should already have primal, etc., right? And ultimately, if any damage that you do and you don't follow up of is also support ult charge that they get as well. So not great. A little more patience there.
Again, I'm just overthinking myself here.
Yeah. I mean, so are you doing the same Nanoblade stuff again?
Yeah, I want to make sure they can't Nanoblade.
Okay. So it's a fine strat, but I'm not. This is like less of a. This is more of a team issue than anything else. But like, if you're gonna go for this, what would you want to do?
We want to have my team follow up.
Yeah, you'd want follow up, right? Where's my Genji? Where's my Ana? Where's my monkey? Like guys would be like, all right, we're gonna hack Ana and Grav, right? Hacking Ana is not a win condition without follow up, right? You would want to hack Ana, then Grav, and then they realize that, oh shoot, this is the last fight, we're gonna lose. Nanami, but the Ana's hacked, and they lose. Do you see that?
Yeah.
This is the same problem as what happened on second as well, where you know they have Nanoblade. Oh, we're thinking this other one, but you know they have Nanoblade, and you're like, oh shoot, we have to hack Ana. But the problem is when you hack her, you guys weren't actually ready to commit. Like, right? Okay, this is it right here. Same concept here. Where's my follow-up? Where's my, my rally? Where's my Grav? You see what I'm saying?
It's my fault. I didn't call that.
Yeah, so you need follow-up here. And it doesn't have to be even follow-up on the Ana. You can grab the monkey. Just grab the monkey. Just kill the monkey while you hack the Ana. Because then they lose their monkey. They lose their Zarya probably immediately afterwards. And then the Genji, they still have Nanoblade. But now they have to 4v6 Nanoblade, right? Without monkey. And they don't want to do that. There's that. You cause havoc. You cause panic. But you need to
use that hack
right.
time, right?
Right. But you need to time it, and your timing is scuffy. Like it's the same thing as your Tracer. You're too early, because your Zarya looks like, I'm honestly kind of confused. The reason why I'm not like lambasting you for this one, because I'm kind of honestly confused. Like I look at your Zarya and I'm like, maybe she was just like poking. Excuse me. But clearly of the majority of your team, your Brig, Genji, Ana, and to a lesser extent your Winston are not in a position to aggress here. Like honestly, you hack the Ana, dive the Ana, man. Like just go dive the Ana, go in like primal rage the Ana. She's gonna die, right? But there's just no follow up here. So is this something that you are not calling, or your team is just confused on, or what?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on. Yeah, because I didn't call it. Like I was just thinking I'm gonna hack the Ana. We can't really dive her because she has all this help and stuff. So I'm just gonna hack her so we can't nano. But if I hack her here, we can still look for grab. We could push them keys like that.
Yep. Because you think about it this: if you hack the Ana now, but your team doesn't follow up, does she have to nano? Does the Genji have to blade?
And, yeah,
no, they just AFK. They just clear you out, and then they go nanoblade immediately afterwards. The hack matters when there's I'm going to die, my team's going to die if we don't nanoblade now. And that win condition is only met, not necessarily when you're committing ultimates, but that win condition is only met when your team is actively doing something, taking a fight. You see what I'm saying? So if your team is not actively fighting, there's no reason for them to nanoblade. They can sit in their hands and just wait you out. And you know, to your credit, you rehack, and now this hack actually matters, right? Because you're nanoblading, they're grabbing, stuff is happening here. So this hack might actually pay off. Yeah, so that's actually huge. Like that pays off exactly what you want. And this is a messy fight, but you guys are going to take advantage of it because you're building a lot of EMP. They still haven't nanobladed. This is going to be scuffed as all get out nanoblade. They're not going to be able to nanoblade with their monkey. And they had to blow 1, 2, 3 ultimates here, right? So that second hack was the properly timed hack. You didn't have the exact follow-up that you wanted with Grav because your Zarya fed, but that second hack was the difference. Do you understand that compared to your first hack?
Yeah, because we actually followed up.
Exactly. You guys were in a position to follow up. This is brilliant. Oh wait, no, were you late?
I was a second late.
Oh. This is where I would unironically like just go say, guys, just go now. We're going in this spawn. I don't care. Oh, I would have had you guys hide and then just been like, all right, 3, 2, 1, boom, and then grab, go. But that sucks, man. But hey, but you know what? It might not matter. Like you do get the grab, and so the follow up on the nanoblade is terrible. Ooh, that translocator. Oof. I would not do this. This ain't it. No. No, this is where you live on their backline. This is where you throw translocator here. You go farm a little bit, you translocate out, or you honestly like even translocate like here, and then you farm out, and then you recontest with it. You might die here. Ooh. Shadow with the 1 HP sleep dart. In the bubble as well. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yes, absolutely, very good. I'm not sure where your other DPS is. Okay, so yeah, we're all set. Yeah, this is great. This is really good, really well done. And you might not always, the thing with the EMP is almost very rarely you're gonna get like a fat EMP and everybody just instantly dies, but you have to look at this like 2 different ways. What you've done with this EMP is you have hacked Zarya. So we look at Monkey here. There's Bubble, he gets Bubble, but there's no damage follow-up from Zarya. There's no armor packs on their Monkey. There's no armor packs on their DPS. Genji cannot follow up with this Monkey. And the Ana, instead of supporting her Monkey and nading Monkey, etc., now has to hard peel her squishy backline. You see this? So not only is it what you're doing here, it's what you've done to completely isolate this guy. And we're going to look at the kills here. first kill was on the squishy that you EMP'd. The second kill was on the tank that you didn't EMP, but who got left behind. So that was a great EMP. Okay, nice. Okay, so what are your main takeaways? What are your priorities? Because we've been through a lot. Like, I didn't hold back. I literally taught everything that I know about Sombra, just about. Like, all the big stuff, right? So there was a lot. But what stood out to you? Like, what do you think is a priority for you? Because you can't do everything at once.
On Sombra?
Yeah, on Sombra first.
So, well, I guess the easiest would be translocator positioning. Making sure that it's always button cover and it's not way too far behind or way too far forward. And then probably just like the timing of like when I like not going for the back, like not just forcing backline kills and actually like trying to farm tanks and hold angles. And like meanwhile, while I'm doing that, I can work on like what comp I'm playing against. Am I playing against Poke or
right?
Yeah,
exactly. Because if you're playing Sombra and against like Bap Zen, then obviously go backline. You know, don't just stand angles, get Discord to get your head blown off. But so it just depends on like how deep the angle and like with the comp that you're playing. But yeah, I think the translocator placement, like you say, is like the biggest return on investment. It's very easy to do. It's not going to revolutionize your Sombra gameplay, but it will like be a good little boost on every single time you have an engagement, and then maybe a little bit of your timing, stuff like that. Honestly, I think your EMPs are fine. Just leave your EMPs as they are. They were good enough. Don't worry about it. Just see how it goes. Your EMPs for the most part were all right. Okay. Do you have any questions, mate?
Not really. No.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you have any questions about your Tracer specifically?
Tracer. Yeah, probably not. That was really helpful. Thank you.
Yep. No worries, man. All right. Cheers. I will talk to you later, I'm sure.
Have a good stream. I'll see you.
Thank you. All right, so that was Polar, Masters, Tracer, Sombra. So really, really nice tracking, especially from that Sombra there at the end. Like, it was like really, really clean, but some stuff on a little bit of everything here. And normally, chat, we don't go in as detail here, but I think this is kind of informative for a lot of Sombra players, because I don't want this to be just about Polar Sombra. I want this to be about Polar Sombra so he knows, but also for anybody that plays Sombra, you can kind of learn something from this about like what we talked about, because there's a lot of high level concepts that we talked about here, but also there's a lot of just basic fundamentals that are important in Bronze. They're important in GM as well. Hydrate, thank you. Does chat have any questions about Sombra? Do you guys have any questions about Sombra? Sick. I think he needs to be spamming more voice lines while in the Infinity backline. Right. Such a clever and creative idea. Well done, Savudrun. Sombra metas are kind of poop, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Sombra metas very much. She's a fun hero to coach, but she is not a fun hero to play against. Does Sombra make you want to drink and forget too? When should you not play Sombra? Comps with range and comps with CC are often difficult. Like for example, like Hanzo, tricky to play in Sombra. Kree, tricky. Anything that has any like a heavy form of range and you don't have an aggressive dive comp with it. You can play Sombra into poke comps, but you need like good hard dive because they'll just outpoke you. You don't really have anything. Hanzo's great against Sombra. Yeah, Hanzo's very good against Sombra. Because again, it's like you can force her to play, like she wants to play slightly longer sightlines, but you play against a Hanzo, he just pops Stormbow, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I translocate now. Same thing as McCree. And McCree has the CC and the range, so he's got a cake and he can eat it too. So she's good against like Jung Sim. So the problem with Junk Sim is that they're usually only played on maps where the sightlines are really short, right? And that's where Junk Sim aren't scared of a Sombra. If you played against a Junkrat Symmetra on a long sightline map, then yeah, Sombra would be pretty good against them. Because you could just AFK on a high ground and they couldn't reach you, they couldn't poke you out, they couldn't do anything against you. So if you play into a short range comp on a long range map, then yes, Sombra would be good. And EMP is, gonna be busted against that. Completely shut down Sim Wall, a lot of other things. When is Sombra better than Tracer? When the enemy composition is harder to get picks against, but has less range. In other words, if they're not running a lot of squishies, if they're running like Moira, Lucio, Reaper, Sombra will do more because her EMP is better and she has more ranged pressure. Tracer wants to get closer, but she doesn't like getting close to Reaper, Mei, Moira. So Sombra will generally be better. It's very general terms. That categorizes the maps? No. We could do that. If you do, you guys would you guys like me to do a quick map special? Let's do it. Connor, are you around? Jump! I want you in a voice call with me, brother. Let's do these maps. Give me like 1 minute. All right. So this is going to be very general terms, but we'll do a map special about like what, and the goal is going to try and discuss like what comps are good on what maps and why. So again, if you guys don't know, EasyBot is British strategic coach for me over with Sheer Cold. Brilliant guy. He's a bit of a weirdo, but he's a brilliant guy. Connor, come on NA servers. Be sure to take notice of flanks and angles. Oh, you're awful. Does he have a favorite Premier League team? I don't know. Connor's the type of person that's like more likely to be more interested in like what his favorite My Little Pony is than rather than the Premier League stuff. Like, this freak has been sitting in my stream and unironically highlighting good Sombra translocator positionings for me while I'm streaming. Like, I don't even care. Like, I don't remember asking. I couldn't care less. He's the guy soaring disrespect by Hume. I mean, honestly, he kind of is a Humegalul. Hey, Steady. All right, I'll tell you what, if you guys have any questions right now, if you have any questions while we're waiting. So yeah, we're gonna go, let's adjust the title. As funny as PMA was. Here, title, Overwatch map study session featuring Jew. What's the benefit of running Sombra Echo over any other DPS variation in Double Bubble? Well, the reason that you like Sombra Echo is because you have like the reason Sombra Echo was played more often early on was because those heroes do very well into Brawl. Because you look at Echo, you have a hero that has a lot of spam damage, a lot of ranged pressure, and has an ultimate that is very effective against Brawl, right? You can copy D.Va, build up a bomb. You can copy Mei, build up a Blizzard. You can copy Rein, and obviously if you go in with your Winston, you can get a lot done. But the range pressure from an Ingle against Brawl. You look at Sombra, again, range pressure against Brawl from an Ingle, and her ultimate is also extremely good against Brawl. So you have Primal, which is okay against Brawl, not that great. You have Nano, which is very good against Brawl. You have Rally, which is not that good against Brawl. But you have 4 ultimates, Nano, Grav, Copy, and EMP, that are all fight winners against Brawl. Now there's counters to those, obviously, but Sombra Echo is primarily a counter Brawl dive. And then as teams started to play more dive, the need for Sombra was less because teams would go Tracer, and Sombra doesn't do as well into Tracer. Does that make sense? Why is Nano good? Can't you just kite it? Well, not really, because if they're timing the Nano properly, then you'll have Nano Monkey, but you'll also have a Sombra on your backline, and an Echo on your backline, and an On and Aid, and a Zarya on high ground, etc., etc. So my understanding of Sombra is because it was good in Brawl. I'm gonna call Connor real quick. Yo, thanks for doing this.
Oh, hiya.
Okay, I'm gonna turn you all the way down because I don't like. No, I'm just kidding. I'll leave you at 150. Okay, so do you want to give a quick introduction to yourself for the morons in chat that don't know you?
Hiya, I'm Giu. I'm Connor. I'm also known as EasyBot, I guess. I just got out of bed, so I'm kind of groggy. That's all I can really say for now.
They call him an easy bot because there's in no way is he a hard bot at all. He's
True.
Training bot is his next name. Okay. So what I kind of wanted to do here is like to go back and forth and like we're just gonna do 2 CP for now. If we end up having more time, we'll do more time. But like just do 2 CP for now and like go over comps that are good in first point, second point, and then just kind of go from there. Does that work for you?
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, so I'm gonna start here because I'm the leader here and I'm the most handsome. So
True.
basically you look at this map here and there's like 2 comps that really stand out to me initially. There are high grounds and stuff, but the high grounds are positioned really awkwardly around choke. So you don't usually see dive being as popular here. Even when dive is good, it's not as popular. Because like the high grounds, the way that they're situated is that you can't really punish choke with dive. Like your pincer is weird and you don't have any high ground for your monkey to stage on. So like most teams want to punish choke, but if you don't have a good high ground or staging ground, then you can't do it with dive. So I see mostly we see on defense here, you'll see spam because the high grounds that are good are at a range, right? And then are at more of a range, right? And then Brawl is obviously good because you can actually really, really hard punish choke. What is your take, first point in defense?
I honestly think first point, like double bubble isn't even that bad. It's just the fact that like contesting point against Brawl is really a pain, and if you misplay it by like a small margin, you just feed like really badly.
Right.
Monkey can like stay at choke like you know how Reinhardt does, stay on right side of choke and just cleave, and then get bubble and then jump back to high. The thing is that like he can get run down really easily if the monkey's like messes up even slightly or overstays his welcome by even like half a second.
Right. So you're saying dive is worse here, not because necessarily the high grounds aren't as relevant, but it's more because you're vulnerable to the whole Brawl strat, right? You TP to point, you TP to point,
you do anything. It's just really
and you don't have enough
have to
damage.
play it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like you don't have enough point staying power at all, and like because you've got the bell in the middle, like. You can't exactly like have a ball just roll through for free, or he'll just get walled off.
Right.
Monkey can't walk in because he'll just get walled off. You have to rely on your tracer to touch, and like if you're playing a diva comp, suddenly like you're a lot worse at holding the choke anyway. So even if they do just walk through choke, it's just bad.
Right. So like Orisa Sigma can just like play high grounds, play angles. They go to point, and they can actually do stuff on point. Like Orisa can stall point.
Yeah, if they get walled off, they don't really care. Your Baptiste can lamp through window, all that stuff, and like
makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
But, like, the double bubble is just really, really hard to play.
Okay, so
you have to be really good.
So dive not so good here. Spam is pretty good. Longer sightlines because I'm trying to find like a balance between pro meta and like ranked meta here. Spam is better because like longer sightlines. Dive not quite as good, not so much high ground. Also weak to TP to point. Brawl obviously like regardless of the rank is strong here because the ability to punish the choke. Obviously if you get if you do let them TP to point, it's a little problematic, but Brawl is just strong here. There's relatively short sightlines throughout this here. There are some high grounds that you can use, some sightlines, but you can play around them very well. In worst case scenario, you can just play around point. Now, what about attack? What comps do you think are good on attack? Because I think this is obviously TP Brawl. Okay, so why is that good? To be honest, like
automatically it's just OP because you've got so many options. Like you've got like 1, 2, you've got like 5 different TP spots you can do.
So one
to,
here,
get to point.
here, and here, right?
And you can even bait TP as well. So then you TP point, they rush to point to try and like because they don't want to give you a tick for free, and then you just rotate through point anyway or whatever. Like you can do lots of funny things.
Okay.
And like. It just causes a lot of chaos, and it's just really ugly. I think it's one of those comps that's just like, it's just cheesy, and it's really hard to deal with, especially with how like strong all the heroes are in the World Cup. Sims 225 HP.
So I'm of the opinion that the worst comp to run in first point Hanamura is spam. I think it's the worst comp. I think dive is a lot better. tank line is still an issue. We're getting through choke, but I think if you get a ball, tracer, something through the choke, or something that can abuse this window, like an Echo or a Genji, you're gonna have a much easier time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that if you're playing any sort of dive comp with even like a Winston D.Va or anything like that, like you have to utilize the left side window, and you try to take that, the left side high ground that you're looking at now, the catwalk sort of bit. You want to try and take that with like a D.Va or your ball or something, and try and take that to try and take pressure off choke, and then you can have someone like a tracer or a Sombra force point.
Right. So even in lower ranks, guys, it's generally better to play something like ball, D.Va, tracer, something that can get through the choke and either like put pressure behind, maybe put point pressure, take away the high ground, something like that, than it is to sit AFK on this choke with Orisa Sigma. Because if they're playing a Reinhardt or a Mei or whatever, and you're playing Orisa Sigma here, your sight lines are good or okay, but you have no splits at all. You can take no angles. The only angle you have here is through this window. And we saw this with the Boston versus Paris thing, where Boston ran Orisa Sigma and they ran Genji, and they had a really hard time breaking through this choke, essentially. Like Orisa Sigma, we're just getting rushed.
The only way to really like force the choke is if you can manage to force your way into right side and get someone in right side.
Right.
That's the only real way.
Because you get in right side, and then you have a little bit of an angle here from main, right? And then
exactly.
if you get your whole team in here, then you can also go push here, and we push here at the same time. I know you're a little delayed on stream, but like you get the idea. And then you can also like go high ground. You can send some people high ground, you can send some people low ground, like, and we angle from there. Okay, so that covers first. Now, second defense. Why don't you start off here? What are your thoughts on second defense?
I think poke comps are really good. So, like any sort of even if it's like divey poke comps, where if you can take catwalk, it's really, really strong. I kind of really prefer the Ashe comps. I think the Echo comps are kind of a bit messy, because if they have like any sort of if they're playing like McCree Brawl or anything, the Echo really struggles because of the lack of like vertical cover. It's like kind of
same reason why you wouldn't run Pharah here as much.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like on defense, you can kind of make it work because you've got they've got to come through these tight chokes, and it's really hard for the hit scans to get angles on them.
Yeah.
But on attack, it's really, really difficult.
Right.
I think any comp that can utilize the catwalk or the high ground, even if it's just a McCree, is going to be really strong. I think again the snowball with some TP brawl is really, really good if you can get it. But generally, if you're attacking, trying to force the choke that way is really good. Top right, I think, or top left from your POV.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Hanamura is just a map where it's like both first and second are absolutely brutal when it comes to map control. Like you've got a tiny choke on first, and then on second, you have a couple of tiny chokes, but you also have oppressively strong high grounds around the point. So a lot of times the compositions, like you were saying, the Symmetra, it's just used because you can skip dealing with all this baloney, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you see some people who have brawl where they'll go bottom right and they'll try and play under the high ground, so they don't have the LOS from just getting poked from high ground consistently, and they'll have their Ryan force point or something. So then they're forced to drop, and then the 6 people can shoot the people who drop.
I personally think this is trash, but it might be a gimmick that works.
It's something that people have done before, and it's just a funny cheese strat.
True.
But
okay.
It's just random things that people do.
But yeah, I agree. I like the spam comps here. You can utilize range more, like Ashe, Widow. We've all seen the Widow swap and spawn, and who can contest a Widow here, who can contest a Widow here. It's really hard to deal with. You get an Ashe here. I think Ashe plus flanker is really good here, because you have the range, and then you can have a flanker that can. Okay, we lost high ground. Well, then...
I think Ashe on attack here is honestly broken. If you can get a bob down main and then take catwalk, you usually get a tick for free.
Yeah,
because
true.
As long as your tanks are pressuring top right, usually if their tanks immediately run to point, then you just walk onto the rest of their team for free, or you if their supports or someone feel like they have to touch point, then your tanks are got a lot more free reign to push top as well.
Right.
So I think having an Ashe and just bobbing point is kind of a cheese strat.
I think it's great.
It's great. You see that in comp as well, not comp. In contenders and stuff as well, where you'll see just an Ashe bob point and they'll just insta get a tick and a half. And you'll usually see a trace or something double tag team with the bob. And
you're simultaneously having your tank line push through here while you're bobbing point. You go here, and or you can go here. But yeah, for defense, it's basically just the one thing that mistake I see that a lot of lower ranks and mid rank players make is that they'll have squishies on back here or here, and they'll hard hold this choke here on defense. It's you have to play around your squishy sightlines. So if your squishies are on the low ground or on back in their spawn, you don't mind giving this high ground. You're kind of kill boxing point at this point. If you have squishies that are holding high ground, then yeah, you stuff. but otherwise, like, play around your squishy sightlines. But yeah, it's like clearing high ground's attack. Never just go down mid, like almost ever. It's almost always a throw, because if there's anybody on high ground on a Hog, Genji, Sombra, they're gonna farm you. So you almost always have to find a way to either cheat by TPing and like walling yourself in a corner, or clearing high grounds first.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing like a, I don't want to call it dumb comp, but like if you're playing something like silly, like a double off tank comp, like Hog Zarya or like Hog Sigma or something, generally you're not going to be able to like force top right, because if they're playing like around Zarya or around D.Va or anything, you're just going to be getting cleaved on choke by a Ryan with like an 85 damage swing, and it's usually, you can actually like send someone down main just to like drag attention away and like get catwalk and then pressure from catwalk and stuff as well, trying to take some pressure off while you have someone force point. But like trying to just hard force top with like double off tank is really gross.
Right.
You're never really going to walk through there at all.
Right.
Like you've got to get kind of what's the word that Super would use? Creative? With like what you want to do to try and break the choke.
Right, you have to find like point control, like long sightline flank here, or a flanker that's putting pressure on point, or putting pressure from behind, or run a more mobile comp that's not just going to get smashed through a choke.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Okay, anything else in this map that you think is important to note?
Not really. I feel like if you're a support player, it's kind of RNG, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would say one thing in attack is like if you guys do clear high ground and you go to point after you've done that, try and maintain pressure on high ground. Like if you're an Ana, don't drop. Try and play here if you can. If you're a McCree, play here. Ashe, play here. Hanzo, play here. Zen, play here. D.Va, don't drop the point. If you're Ryan's on point, play here instead, right? Because you're simultaneously more dangerous there, but you're also safer there. So a lot of times I'll see, oh, we cleared high ground, then we all drop here, and then the enemy McCree just goes to high noons up here, like retakes high ground, and then it's like, well, we did our homework, but now we just gave up the positioning here. So
yeah, that's a big thing with like just most players in general, where they just control the high ground and they'll just drop for air. Like they'll just drop for zero reason, apart from being like, oh, there's no reason for me just to be stood here anymore. And then they just drop, and then once they give the position up, they struggle like capping the point. They just like now can get run on.
Right. How important is coast control, like over on the Mega side?
I think it's a really good staging area if you're playing like a more mobile comp. I think if you're playing like a Tracer, Sombra, or Genji, it's really good. Or even Doomfist as well. But I don't think like, I know during like the Hog Sigma meta or Hog Zarya meta, whichever like stage of the meta you want to go, I know it was really like strong. It was kind of preferred just because you could like control catwalk and point from that side because you were playing two snipers. But when you're playing like sniper flanker, I think your flanker tends to live that side and they can kind of rotate to catwalk and do whatever. But I don't think for like tank wise it's that relevant. I think the only tank that really cares about it is D.Va. And even then, I think that's pushing it a little bit. I think generally catwalk and the two high grounds left and right are more important for the off tanks.
I think you can look at it as like the reason that makes this high ground so oppressive is how easy it is to interchangeably be here, and then you rotate to here, and then you go back here. Whereas this, it's like you're peeking out of this sight line, you get poked out, you have to go and your sight line here isn't super great. It's pretty good, but it's very far and it's also very split. So you're very isolated from your team who is probably over here. So you have to be very careful. Okay. I guess we go next map then. Hanamura Winter. I'm just kidding. Okay, we're not doing Horizon. Screw Horizon. We're not doing Paris either. We're doing Anubis. We'll just do the 2CP maps that are like actually relevant right now.
Actually relevant, yeah.
Yeah.
I miss Horizon, not gonna lie.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, so Steady, if you force point pressure, somebody has to drop, but you want as few people dropping as possible. That's why the Bob on point is so strong, because unless you have like a sleep dart or a hack, yeah, you can contest Bob, but he's still going to be lighting you up while you're doing that. So he takes a lot of resources while he's contesting point. Okay. So Anubis first. Do you want to start here and then I'll go over second?
I think Brawl's really strong, like just in general. Like you can force like left side mega really hard, and you can force out like a lot of that as long as you have like someone who can like play for main, or if you're playing like Brawl with like a flanker or something, like you see the like the Kree Tracer Brawl sometimes as well, where your Tracer can flank around right side and then your team can like just pressure from mega, and then your Tracer usually has like a free contest on their Baptista, the Ana. If you're playing with a sniper or like double bubble, you can just jump from main and have your sniper play main as well, or you can like have your Genji go around left side and left side high or whatever. Like you've got lots of options here. But I
Right.
think Brawl is really, really strong, just in general. You can you've got a lot of good Maywall opportunities. You've got a lot of good angles you can take with like funny splits you can do with like if you're playing like Sigma Brawl or anything, like your Sigma can stay main, your Ryan can push up, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So just short sightlines and chokes, right? Short sightlines and chokes, with the exception of like the one really long sightline here, which is why you do see some Widow here. But your spam angles are pretty limited.
Yeah,
especially like
Ash is better here now.
yeah. So your options are limited. It is a map that's like more brawl oriented, but still has the opportunity for different dive opportunities as well, because like you said, the amount of dive flanker opportunities that you can do with like Genji over here, and you can send Echo around this way. You could also send Tracer on this flank. Sombra can go around behind.
I think this is one of the only maps we saw where Doomfist was still getting played for quite a while. Like I remember, I think it was BH still forcing Doom on this map, and like whenever a new meta came around, and like it's one of those maps where you can force a lot of weird stuff with the bubble. Like you can force Genji, you can force Doom, like you can do loads of weird stuff.
Right, and you can like this isn't good for Monkey here, but like as soon as the fight happens on point, I mean, high ground here, high ground there. There's a lot of high grounds that you can utilize as Monkey or ball comps. And your Ana can play like a million miles away. So probably more brawly dive maps. We do see a lot of like double shield, like especially in lower ranks and mid ranks, you see a lot of the double shield Junkrat Torbjorn crap here, right? And it's like because they're all in a small choke, you can really spam down. So you run spam, but you run spam that's like short sightline spam, right? Like not necessarily the Ash and whatever.
I mean,
so how do you break that then? How do you break that?
I mean, I think the reason why like the top Junkrat stuff is because you literally see 6 people go main. Like if you have all 6 people going, no, I don't want to say main, sorry, go mega, and they're just like AFK down a choke where like the Junkrat just gets infinite value. Whereas if you have like a split where like you have an Ash or something go from like main high ground or something, like the Junk and Torb can't really deal with that because the turret gets aggro on the mega and stuff. And like it's just.
And it's a longer sightline.
Yeah, exactly. Like they can't deal with it as much. That's when you generally have like an Ash Mercy split or something like that, and it just gets a lot more value.
Right.
You can have a split of your Sigma as well if you're in like a double shield mirror, where your Sigma just takes the off angle and like is pressuring them from behind. Yeah, you might get 6 shielded, but like their 6 shield is not in like their way. So.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, so it's like spam can be strong here if the enemy team, the attacking team is like not really splitting properly, not using angles. Okay, makes sense. Anything else on first here?
I don't know. It's not really like a posh map. Like to be honest, I feel like Trace is kind of a pain in the ass in attack, just because like you will have people just like you've got a lot of funny flank routes and stuff. I think Genji flanking through Mega going back round the back is really good, but like there's nothing like I don't want to be rude. Sorry, I'm still kind of anxious.
That's okay.
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I can't.
Really, like, wacky.
I can't really either. So for second, I think again like double shield is like really hard, or spam is like really hard in attack here. Like Widow has really rough sightlines. Ash has rough sightlines. Hanzo is a little more flexible because he's got a little bit more mobility, but he still struggles as well. Arista Sigma, like again, not great long sightlines, and even if you do have a long sightline, there's just corners and cover everywhere, so it's really hard for you to just find an uninterrupted sightline. And then the rotations are brutal too, because you can get punished every single rotation if you're running a really slow comp. What are your thoughts?
I think it's really hard for Arista at the moment on like maps like this, where like you need to walk up a considerable distance. It's not like it's like a payload map where like you have the payload push your shield for you or whatever for a little bit. It's like you have to go through like how many shields? Like you have to either use a significant amount of ults to gain space, or you have to use like 3 shields to even get close enough where like you can negate them.
Takes forever.
It's too long. And by the time that happens, usually like either your supports have died, your DPS have fed, like people get greedy because it's like takes so long. And like the longer your push takes, the more likely somebody is to die on your team.
Exactly. Like one mistake, 2 CP, and that's it. Yeah. So dive maybe ish, because it's a little bit faster tempo, and you can have ult economy that you can play around, but not a lot of great high ground though. It's pretty easy for teams to kite out of your dives here. Brawl is just generally the compositional choice here. I think it's like you just basically you die over and over and over again, but eventually you're taking really fast fights. You get an ult combo, and then you just win off the ult combo. I mean,
I think
that's similar with everybody's experience on this point as well, because it's like you lose, like you can't cap, you blow 6 ultimates and you cap. Like that's the Anubis second attack experience.
I think if you're trying to play dive, like the funny 3-2-1 diving like play style where you're just trying to jump on their backline is like quite good, not gonna lie, and like just rinse and repeat till you get ults pretty much.
Is it because they're just so short? Like the dives are so short?
Yeah, like you can literally just force the left side on your stream right now, and like you can just insta dive on the supports because the supports are always gonna be on this backside. Like they're they're not gonna likely be in dark, and if they are in dark, that's a free rotate onto them.
Yeah.
So like you can force a lot of like quick engages on them and then build ults off that. And if you get both supports really quickly and you are still alive to take the fight, you should win that fight or at least get a tick off it. So
yeah, makes sense.
I don't think it's like a proper dive scenario where you're like trying to poke people out, stabilize, poke people out, stabilize.
Right. Now, spam is always better on defense simply because you have an established position ahead of time. So even though Anubis is terrible for spam on attack because the sightlines are good, you have to move. On defense, you have to move a little less. So I think spam here is a little not as bad, but I just still don't think it's optimal. What do you think about dive and brawl here on defense?
I mean, I think brawl is still good because you've got like a lot of cover that you can just hide with.
So
like,
chokes, right?
Yeah,
choke
you
one,
can just
choke
hide
two,
for ages, or you can even take early fights as well. Like you can do lots of funny things here as brawl. I think Divia comps are okay. It's more just worrying about like what the enemy team is playing. If the enemy team is playing brawl, like if they just go through dark and you don't have any ults to punish, they just get 2 ticks. If you're playing dive on the second point, you need to have like nano or like primal or something to like stall the fight out. Otherwise, they're just gonna be able to force point objective, and you're just not gonna be able to deal with it.
The idea is that you're saying is if brawl goes through here, and they go through dark, and they come out here, and then dive can't do anything here because if you look directly around what's around this location here, there's no real high ground. There's no real like good positions to leverage.
To like sustain really. You can sustain around the coffin, but that's not really a good place to hold.
The coffin?
Pressure. The middle bit, the like you.
Is this a coffin?
If you left side.
Oh.
Where the pharaoh thing is, I don't know.
Oh, this is a coffin?
No, behind the point. Look at spawn.
Oh, this thing.
This thing here. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's like the coffin.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. So like. Yeah. So like, when there's not a lot of flanks here,
but it's not that good because like they can still like force you away pretty quickly.
Right.
And like unless you have to like, if you have no ults and you don't get an ult during this rotate here, like you're pretty much screwed.
Right.
That's why like Echo is also really really good here because Echo will like during these rotates can build so quickly, like you get like 60-70%.
Right. And there's a lot of like vertical cover here, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like during a decently linked fight, you should be able to get like copy pretty much every fight if you're like hitting your stickies. Right,
exactly. A sarcophagus. I bet I can spell it right. If am I spelling it right? Sarcophagus. Is that right? Sorry, this is really important.
I don't know why I'm thinking of asparagus when you're like writing that.
Oh no, it's an A. Wait, I got it. Yes. Alright, I nailed it. Okay, so short sightlines makes sense. Dive, not as much high ground. Brawl on the fence makes sense. Okay, anything last for second, or are we all set?
Really, it's kind of a really boring map. I feel like Anubis is one of those maps that's like pretty vanilla. Not gonna lie, you know what you're expecting.
Okay.
Like even in double shield meta, you saw teams be able to force rush and like get cheese wins out of it because it's like people don't play into it that much and they haven't got like established defaults. So.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, we're going to the next map. Cyrus and I'm sorry, Cyrus in chat. Do you mind messaging me on Discord? I don't want to forget that I'm. Okay, last one, Volskaya. Oh, whoops! Not start game mode. I don't want to start game mode.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Okay. I'll start here. So. On first defense, I think that the priority is obviously like you have long sidelines and you really don't have to move all that much too. So like even if you have a brawl comp that's rotating after you, a lot of the times your rotations are just from this side high ground to this side high ground, and the rotation's very easy. You don't have to flip the map, and while you're doing it, you're just like unloading damage on the enemy team. So long sight lines, good flanks here. Like you've got an angle here, you've got an angle through here. Obviously angle on either side of bunker, angle through here, angle here. You can angle all the way through. Oh gosh, angle through here. You can also flank and angle through this way. So I think like spam is just ridiculously good in this map. Maybe the best spam point in the game besides like Junkertown first, maybe. But even that has payload going for it. What are your thoughts?
I actually really like double bubble here. I think like double bubble with like Ash or Echo with Tracer is really, really strong here. You've got like, if they have to rotate through right side, you've got like 2 rotations you can like farm on, and you usually get like 60, 70, 80% primal off that alone. And your Ana can like hard pocket you throughout the entirety of it. Like first rotate, Ana can play top left and just like be chilling there, and then second rotate, Ana just rotates back to back left high ground. And then she gets LOS on the second rotate, and if your monkey needs to, you can jump out at either of them really easily.
Right.
Then like once they rotate through top right, you've got lots of distance for your Echo and like Echo, Ash, or Tracer to spam, and your Tracer can just be catching them from rotate. It's really bug.
But it's like a spammier style of dive you're describing.
Oh
now.
yeah. You're not playing like Tracer Sombra or anything like that. You're just gonna be feeding at that rate.
Right.
But like you're playing like more pokey comps definitely.
Okay, makes sense.
I think if you play Brawl on defense here, I feel like you kind of just like they can choose like random comps, like any kind of pokey comp, and as long as they get their backline set up, like they're free.
Yeah. And the thing with Brawl is if you're gonna play Brawl on this map, and you really see this in like ranked a lot too, is if you're playing Rein, you're not playing here against. If your team is playing spam, you're playing here, right? Like on truck, because if you let them get out and start to flank, then you have problems. Right, so you're trying to hold the choke where there's a little bit more, you can control the map a little bit better. But then even then, spam can beat you by saying, okay, well, we're just going to send a Tracer all the way to point, and we're going to force point.
If they have like a Diva or something as well, if they send a Diva Tracer point, you need to match with at least 2 people, and if you match with 2 people, like which 2 people do you send? Do you send your Lucio and your Diva? Because I think the Tracer Diva matchup should win that. And like, you need to like, it makes decisions hard for people, especially in ranked as well, where like you don't know who needs to go to point. Like you have 2 people on point, you go, oh crap, who do we send?
Yeah.
Or like you have to make a conscious decision yourself, and if you send the wrong person, they just insta die. Like if your Ana tries to touch point against a Diva Tracer, good luck with that one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or if a Diva just solo contests it as well, it's just annoying.
What are your thoughts on attack here?
I mean, it depends who you're playing. I think he can kind of play all 3. I think double bubble is really good. I think double shield is kind of hard if they're playing double bubble, because it's really hard to like take angles properly, and you've not really got like a hard punish for the bubbled monkey.
And you're saying it's hard to take angles because they can, if you split too far, then the dive comp will
just punish the heck out of you.
Oh, okay. Baggin says, "Hey, this kid tried to steal my thumbnail making secrets. Get him out of here." Go ahead, sorry.
But I think that like you can make it work. It's just the fact you've got to stack a bit more, and like if you're going to be playing double shields, you tend to play it with like the brick variant with like the brick bap rather than the Zen bap.
Yeah.
Because the brick can actually like deny the like off angle pressure onto the Sigma, so like she can whip shot the monkey away and stuff, and if she doesn't get the whip shot off, she's forced bubble earlier.
Right.
And like she's like getting less pressure onto him inherently because of that, and he has to drop earlier. And you'll probably be playing like a Kree rather than like an Ash, so then you've got like more CC pressure as well.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Brawl on attack?
I think you can cheese a first point win if you play fast and like super high tempo. But I don't think that it's reliable at all. Like I think that it's one of those things where it requires the defensive team to like actually am I allowed to swear or not?
I mean, you can if you want to.
Okay, it requires the defending team to fuck up a lot. Like in comparison to like Hanamura first point, for example.
Yeah.
Brawl has like an inherently better like standing point there if they just get on point.
Right.
They've got a lot of cover, they can sit there. While here, like, Brawl is at an inherent disadvantage. It's a very open point, and like the defending team has to mess up a lot to like give them the full cap.
Right.
Like if any Brawl wants to stabilize anywhere, they either have to go into Hut or to Mega, and either one of those aren't fantastic just because they can't easily like contest point. And if they go into Huts, they can't run anywhere, and you just have to have somebody touching corner or point. Like you have your Tracer, Monkey, or D.Va juggle point, or even Zarya juggle point.
So you're saying
And,
that
like-
there's like, while Brawl is on point, they're completely vulnerable to high ground spam from multiple different angles.
Yeah, you've
and
got like
there's no
8
cover.
different angles.
There's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
cover. And we see this with Brawl sometimes where they'll clear out an angle. So like they do their homework. They don't just go straight to point. They'll clear out top left here, you know, and they go, okay, then they drop the right on point. But the problem is now that you have an Ana Lucio or Ana Brig or whatever standing on high ground with no cover against an Ashe, you know, or, you know, a Zen or whatever. And that's just no good. That's just no good. That becomes a real problem. Because even if you do clear out one high ground, the other one is still cleared.
Yeah,
and if you
that's
choose to do this, if you're like, okay, we're gonna run all the way across and clear out all the high grounds, you know, you're wasting so much time. And yeah, you have Lucio speed, but the entire time you're doing this, you're taking spam.
Yeah, and they end up having ults, and then you lose just because they have ults, and you have you've done nothing. You've only just like managed to scare an Ana away, and you might have support ults. You might have your Bapple or your Moira ult, but usually that's not enough to win a fight when they have when they have Echo ult or something, right? Or Bob.
Right, exactly. Okay, so first point, double shield's a little slow. Your Brawl can be a little tricky. Brawl might be the worst one to run against most comps here. Dive, you have options, but obviously still have issues. I think most teams we see generally mirror some form of spammy style of dive or some sort of, at least some mobile heroes on first point against most comp. And again, chat, we're trying to like incorporate some of ranked here, but this is mostly pro here, so just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, second point. Defense here, I think like there's a lot of flexibility with what can be good here. Like I think a lot of flexibility, and the reason why that is like you do have okay sightlands, you have decent high grounds, not as good as second. A lot of teams like they're playing spam on first, they play spam on second, but I think spam is a little weaker. Brawl is not terrible. This again, the sightlands are shorter, and there are a lot of available high grounds for dive. So I think on defense, I actually think second is wide open for what you can play. What are your thoughts?
I mostly agree. I think that see, I'm on second point. I'm kind of like in this funny spot because it really depends on the state of first and like how you've like done on that. Because it's like if the defending team is playing double bubble and they have no ults, you can usually just force point and like get a load of ticks off it because it's really hard to farm on second point here. Like if you rotate left side, the Monkey doesn't really want to push you that hard because it's really easy for him to get isolated and killed.
Right, and by left side you mean attackers left?
Attackers left, yeah.
So this is part of the button here. Right.
And then if even if they want to, you've seen this from I think it's Raspberry Racers. They did this, or Obey last season. And they could speed boost from top right high ground across the gap, and then they would try and rush the bit there. They did that. I think they did that in the official. I can't remember, but they did it in. Actually, I can't leak that. Never mind. But like they did a speed boost stuff there, or even a Maywolf jump, and they just go across there and take that top high ground. And if your Ana's just sat on that left side there, she just gets run over. And it's like stuff you can do there. If they have no ults that can punish you, you can just run it down. And like just press W on them.
I think spam. I think all the comps are more relevant on defense, but I think spam struggles a little bit more on attack though, because you still have these these fatiguing slow rotations. It feels like on attack.
Yeah, I think spam
like Anubis.
Yeah, I think spam on attack in general is really hard on like 2CP maps where like the point is very static. Like same on Koth as well, where spam kind of struggles a little bit as well. Well, if you've got choke control, it's really hard for them to like set up at all.
Right.
And you've got to go from some really wonky stuff where like I think during double shield meta, you would see some teams like I think Exoblivione did this in one of our officials actually, where they used the you know I forget what they're called, like the catwalk things that go around. I don't know what they're called.
Moving platforms.
Things.
Yeah.
They tried to like rotate 3 or 4 players through there, and they just get ulted instantly and died. Like they're forced to do stuff like that because they want to make their rotate easier and like less noticeable or whatever, but like if they try and walk through main, they're just gonna get ulted there anyway, so they're trying to do some weird stuff. And I feel like it's just really inconsistent.
What are your thoughts on like dive and brawl and attack?
I think dive and brawl are a lot easier than spam. Like brawl, you can force rotates onto high ground, and once you clear high ground, it's really hard for them to retake it. Comparatively to like on first point, just because you've got like a lot more cover and a lot more like stabilizing places. Like on second point, you've got like the room above the mega room to stabilize, and then you've got the room next to the mega room, you know, the one above the mini by their spawn. And you've got like 2 places you can stabilize pretty easily. and then you can like rush out from there. We did that's something you do with like the Monkey Brawl as well. I think dive comps as well are really good for pressuring the high grounds. You can get an Ashe on top left, like on the elevator bit.
Yeah.
To get decent LOS over point, and then you can push from attacker's left. You can like push your team going from attacker's left to control that like left side, without having like any risk of your Ashe getting attacked from the far right side.
Right, it's too far away. Right. Okay. Trying to think here. I got a question, chat. Would this be a point where you could like TP with Sim at all on attack?
I don't think it's that poggers, not going to lie.
Even if you could like, what if you could like TP through this choke here? You know what I'm saying? TP here and then come through here and then like, you know, TP up to high ground up here.
If you wanna know a Sim strat, I've seen this being done in scrims before, where you know how Sim has a range buff on a TP where it can go further than its actual range, right? It's like 35 or 40
I didn't know that. Really?
But you can put it on a moving platform when it'll like extend, right?
Oh, okay.
There was a strat that I saw back when I used to coach Masters teams, where they had a set play where they would TP a D.Va bomb through on the moving platform.
Oh,
and it would launch through on the middle of bomb, and it like literally, if you have one person, like, if you timed it right, you could time the D.Va bomb so it would blow up just as it came through the TP, and you would time it so it came just onto the corner, and the bomb would explode in the middle, and all like the supports and stuff who were trying to poke from poke main would just insta blow up because they'd be like, what the heck is going on? Works so often, and I've actually really wanted to try it in like higher play, but I've never like put it up in
I would be curious to see Sim. I would love to see
Sim. But like,
Sim
I don't think it's a good play. I don't think Sim is like the strat.
I would be curious to see TP Brawl. I would love to see it. Can you imagine like if you're TPing on main to like the right side? Yeah, TP to top right, you know, and like you said, they obey alliance jump, but just do TP instead. And like if you get booped, unlucky, you could wrap around and then clear high grounds from this side. You could go to point this way. I would just be curious to see how it would go. I would be curious. Okay. Anything else with Volskaya then?
Not really. I like first point more than I like second point.
Yeah. I mean, I mean,
first point's a lot more fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the Briggs End point, right? Like we still see Briggs End there because like it's funny, long range sightlines. Like you can't play anything but. Okay.
I can't believe I got you to say funny.
I say funny now. I unironically say funny occasionally, and it's just absolute misery. You've ruined me. You have ruined me forever and forever. It's not ironically not funny at all. I'm in tears over this.
It's hilarious.
Well, I want to stop there because I just want to like do this in like short little segments. Are you down to do this like maybe like once a week or so?
I don't mind at all.
Sick.
Sorry, I literally just woke up, so I probably just said a load of brown. Like,
no, it was totally fine. It was totally fine. I'm on the opposite side of things. I'm exhausted because I got many hours to go. So it was a wonderful dynamic duo as always. Well, thanks, EasyBot. I appreciate you coming on, man, and I would say get some rest, but it sounds like you already got that. So
yeah,
I'll see you later, mate.
Don't worry. You guys have fun.
All right, cheers.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was EasyBot Jew Connor. He's one of my old buddies, coaching buddies. So yeah, let's do this. Let's finish off with one more short hammer time, and then we'll call it. This is a short hammer time, and I think it's an interesting one that stands out to me. It says, how Hearthstone did ranked right. Hydrate. Now, to be clear, my coaching opinion when it comes to what's fun and ranked and what's wrong with the ranked system is worth about jack. Because I can tell you how to play the game better, and like I can give a pretty good idea of game balance and things like that. But in terms of like what makes the game fun, I'm no superior than any other person who has the same amount of hours as me. Like my opinion is not any better. So I can try and be like fair about it, but this is a situation where it's like it's not exactly educational, it's more of a commentary. And it's gonna be hard for me to give a completely not only unbiased, but it'll be hard for me to give you an accurate opinion. So I'm not even going to rank this one. I'm just going to discuss it. I'm gonna want you guys to give your thoughts on it as well. All right. Let's give this one a read. TLDR, adapting Hearthstone system, win streaks rank flow as a performance-based rank would be a substantial improvement for Overwatch. Okay. For context, I've been an avid player of both Hearthstone and Overwatch for the past 5 years, 3K hours in Hearthstone and only 500 Overwatch. 500 hours in Overwatch over 5 years is like legit nothing. That's literally, like, let me put it this way. 500 hours in Overwatch over 5 years, that's 2 hours a week. That means that you play 7 or 8 quick play games once a week. Right? Like, you unironically probably spend that much time in the shower a week. Would you call yourself an avid showerer? Those are rookie numbers, right? Over that time, I played more than my fair share of ranked mode in both games. So I can say the enjoyment levels are night and day. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and cheat and say I see win streaks, I see floors, and I see self-determination. I think the best way to describe the frustration of Overwatch is that it's a game designed around team play. And when you have a game designed around team play, there is going to be an inherent risk of being frustrated at your teammates, right? Because it is not always obvious to blame yourself. It is a revolutionary idea, not revolutionary, but it's an unusual, worth taking notice idea to take responsibility for every loss that you have and think on what you need to be doing better. But if you were to play Hearthstone, or even, for example, Call of Duty, Team Deathmatch, and you didn't come first place, you're going to rage. You might flame, but in the end, you're like, man, I should have just done better. You know? Nobody's going to rage at chess when they lose one-on-one. They weren't good enough, right? That's very clear. In Overwatch, there is a perception of that my team wasn't good enough because I'm a part of a whole. And to be fair, in a way, it's true. But there's also an equal number of games that you get carried when you don't. So that's an inherent thing. And it's also in a team game where communication isn't as big of a deal. Overwatch is like a pickup basketball game where people aren't talking to each other as much and they're not coordinating as much. And that's where some of the frustration comes from, in my opinion. So I think part of it could be improved. Oh yeah, we need to finish up. So part of that could be improved, maybe, and how it feels, but also it's just inherent to the team system. So I think that's my thought of it. All right. Hearthstone ranked game is the primary mode of play at the point of being game's selling point. All right. Before Battlegrounds, ranked was the definition of Hearthstone. I've never played Hearthstone, by the way. So, Overwatch ranked mode is a wasteland, put it simply. Although apparently things get better at Masters, everything from Diamond to Bronze is insufferably toxic and tilting. Overall, it is a markedly negative experience. I guess so. I think part of this is an opinion, you know, and it could be at a good day or a bad day, but I can understand that. But fundamentally, both of these games, like, here's the problem with this. I haven't played Hearthstone. I haven't played CSGO ranked. I haven't played Valorant ranked. I haven't played Apex Legends ranked. I haven't played League of Legends. My only experience outside of Overwatch when it comes to actually competitive is a crappy MMO. And so I don't know what it is compared to other games. And I think that's the only thing that you can really compare it to. I think you can say Overwatch, like, just because other games are bad doesn't give excuse Overwatch ranked to be bad, but part of it, you can cut them a lot more slack. I don't know what it's like in other games. I don't know how do you compare that. Yeah, so it's really hard for me to know. And he's comparing Hearthstone to Overwatch, where the toxicity in Hearthstone is there might be toxicity, but there's no toxicity between teammates because you are your teammate. You are the only player playing. Like, are you gonna flame your teammates? No. And you don't even flame your enemies. Like, oh, he's hacking. I mean, he's playing a card game, man. If you lose to a card game, like, how are you gonna even flame your enemy? Like, it feels a lot less personal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So I'm not really a big. I'm already kind of turned off because this comparison feels inherently flawed. Because there are no teammates to flame. There are no expectations put on other people. There's no lack of communication or synergy. People aren't throwing. It's literally just you throwing if anybody's throwing. That's it. Kind of the same thing with the competitive modes. I think Hearthstone should be more stale, toxic to game experience of continuity on it. I mean, it's just completely false. Like, I know I was trying to be a little bit impartial here, but this if anything, Hearthstone should be more stale and toxic. No, because you're not relying on your teammates to improve. It's only you and only you. Yeah. And it's also the feel of the game is intense. You know what I'm saying? Think about it this way. If somebody beats me in chess, I'm not gonna like legit want to like cry or like you know. But if somebody like in football, like American football, like trucks me, runs me over, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt my feelings. That's gonna really like emotionally like get me really upset, you know. Or if I'm playing, you know, European football, like soccer, right? And somebody like breaks my legs and like kicks a goal right over my head, like that feels personal, man. Like that feels personal, like right in your face. Win streaks. The ladder system for both games are pretty standard. You win and gain points or lose and lose points with certain amounts of points no to different ranks. So why does only Overwatch have the problem of getting hard stuck? It doesn't. It doesn't though. Hearthstone is a system that rewards consistently playing well, and it is by providing a win streak multiplier to your rank. This is critical for preventing good from getting hard stuck. If you're truly better than your competition, you'll be out of the rank bracket in no time. For those poor souls stuck in bronze and they play at a plot level, a win streak is. Okay, so I guess maybe he's saying that the rank systems in Overwatch are too sticky. So in other words, if you're a plat player that got placed in high silver, low gold because of unlucky placements, it shouldn't take you a dozen games to get, or 20 games to get back to plat, or 25 games. That should take you 10, right? I don't really know about that, but I know that he's exaggerating the level of what that's of this thing. Because remember chat when we said in the hundreds, literally 700, 800, 900 VODs that I've reviewed, close to 1,000, I've never seen somebody that looked like they belonged more than like 300 or 350 SR from the rank. So if the Overwatch system is sticky and needs multipliers, it doesn't need much. It needs very, very little. But that, like, for example, poor soul stuck in bronze when in plat, like I've never seen this before. Never, not even anything close. I've never seen a gold player stuck in bronze. In fact, I've never even seen a high silver player stuck in bronze. Almost not that I can think of. So if you winning, I mean, yeah. I mean, I've gained 70 SR in a win when I got placed in gold on support. So I mean, there is a multiplier. It's there. It's just people think they deserve it when they don't. In Overwatch, every game counts. If you've got a friend in a lower rank and you care about your SR, you're better off having fun and staying away. I mean, again, the game is balanced around the fact that you have a lower SR friend, so you will also have a lower SR enemy, or your team will be slightly less lower average SR, but you'll get more SR if you do win. The mentality of defensiveness is a core of the hostility present. Losing lots of SR is losing the largest contributor to land anxiety. What I propose is a rank 1450 below each. For instance, when you reach gold, your SR can only drop as low as a site for a given season. This would afford players a chance to enjoy their games, not worry so much about the horse or singing 1000 Mario and flying you to back. So I can appreciate this in terms of like, okay, you can only drop so much. So like, let's say your MMR is at a certain ranking, but you just lose a bunch of games. You go on an unlucky streak, you only drop like 250 SR. But saying you can only drop 250 SR for an entire season, that seems pretty crazy to me. That's nuts to me. That seems a little strange. If you're that bad, that's rough. I understand what he's saying here, or she's saying here, and I can respect part of it, but the suggestion is really bad. The problem with these ideas is that it can make it hard for players near the floors to rank up, as those with the luxury of them can throw their heart's content. Yeah, that's another thing as well. Hey, Spyro. In Overwatch, ranking up and down is binary. You either win and gain rank or lose and lose rank. The same goes for Hearthstone, but the difference arises in the fact that in Hearthstone, it's solely your performance that matters. If you play immaculately, you'll be rewarded. If you play immaculately Overwatch and get a bad team, you won't be compensating the size. Well, I mean, that's just because it's a team sport versus an individual sport. If you play immaculately, you're going to win. If you play poorly, you're going to lose. Okay, Overwatch already manages internal MMR based on performance. I can't think of a single reason why not let her visible as hard. Take that into account too. If any of these changes I'm proposing would either find a way to Blizzard. I mean, this is a fair point. My one concern is we don't really know how MMR is calculated, and we don't know how much it actually affects Overwatch. And the other thing that makes me concerned about it is Overwatch is infamous for a terrible stat system. In other words, the stats, like I don't have any suggestions, so I won't nitpick it too much, but the stats in Overwatch are like, you can have all golds and still be playing the worst member of your team because you're playing in a way that just farms medals, but not in a way that's conducive to winning team fights. So the stats in Overwatch, like even at the pro, like analysts are woefully underused, even at the top, like Overwatch League level, because everybody knows in Overwatch stats just don't matter that much. To a little extent they do, but like they don't matter very much at all. So like if you had an MMR ranking towards stat base, then you'd start, you know, playing in a way to farm stats and stop playing in a way to win games. And that's a very dangerous road to go down, at least in the current state of Overwatch stats. So that's the danger here. If you're hard second bronze, you're not playing a plat level. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not a fan of this. I think there's some just criticism of here. Something that I would be curious to hear about, like, is what is the ranked mode in Hearthstone like? What is the ranked mode in League of Legends like? But I don't think the suggestions given here are particularly quality. I think the other suggestions, there are better suggestions out there that I'd be more interested in hearing, to be perfectly honest. Chat, what do you think? I think the only stat you should really care about is deaths. I mean, that's certainly a very important one, yeah. That's the one that you'd want to work on cutting down, especially needless deaths, right? Like, my dying, like if your team loses the fight, you just die, it's fine. But are you dying unnecessarily first? Like that would be something that I would really, really want to be taking an eye on, for sure. Because like first death is just, is oftentimes avoidable. But even then, that doesn't tell the full story, really. You need more context than that. Sounds like this person doesn't like team games. I mean, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the risk here. Okay. I'm gonna toss a host. So chat, we're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna toss a host over to React OW, short Doom only stream. Let's go. So Poggers. This person is in Masters and they're playing Doofus. So we're gonna give them a check out. Thank you guys for hopping in. Appreciate it. We might stream tomorrow. It's going to depend on my schedule tomorrow. Like I said, Thursday is really my up, and who knows if I'm going to stream or not. But we will be here Friday. And like I said, stay tuned. We have a very, very big guest who will be coming on stream for an interview this Saturday. I won't tell you who this person is. You guys will just have to wait and see. Thanks for the subs, follows, all that juicy stuff. Tell React OW I said hello, and I will see you guys soon. Cheers, mates.